So NoctuaMik is helping me in the shadows as always. She's one of the players. We're going to present the players now first. She has been with me in the Waka community since the very start, or almost the very start. She found me during a Subnautica stream. And soon thereafter, Shell and her lovely husband beside her, Mercury Hunter, joined in. And they have become friends for life. And I'm so proud to be their friend and to have them in the community as well. So everyone you can see on stream, they are streamers as well. You should definitely go and check them out. Mickey is there for the occasional milkshake over the keyboard and screaming. Mercury Hunter is there for the most chill puzzle solving and good platformer you can ever imagine. And today he's a bit hidden, but he has got a great mane, and he is definitely competing with me, and I love him for it. He has a hair flip that you can redeem. I'm just saying. Then we have the Beard, the legend, Degradation, who not super recently, but still quite recently found his way to the Waka community. And with focus on horror, he's an amazing streamer with lots of lewdness and a very big heart. And I can lewd before we start the adventure. I can say this: Degradation. It makes my nipples a little bit hard that you're in the adventure today.
It makes my nipples hard as well.
Okay, good.
Don't say that while I'm in between you guys, please.
Then we got that over with. I already presented the lovely Marco, the dungeon master, the master of the dungeon from Pengu Studios, Natural Pengu, but he's still here. He's an amazing dungeon master, creating great original content that you can watch on Natural Pengu. You can see me there, playing a bunch of different characters. One of the characters I play is Quiet, the half-orc barbarian, who is currently wandering around the streets looking like this, because he lost his clothes. He stole an expensive pillowcase, and now that's his new loincloth underwear thing. There you have him, the legendary Quiet. And yes, Pengu Studios is also developing this app and a lot of cool stuff which will add to your Dungeons and Dragons playthroughs. And I'm so lucky that I get to use the beta version today on my stream. Are you ready for this? Are you ready to join a Dungeons and Dragons adventure with the beautiful adventures that you see on screen? Because I'm so hyped up for this. Yesterday night I did what was most necessary, and that is the maps. I wanted to do a few small articles about every race in the world, about important cities. I wanted some information for you. Do you know how far I got at world building yesterday? I started one article and I wrote the title Orcs. That's everything that's in there. That's the whole world building.
Yes, orcs.
Okay. That being said, let us play. The whole world, as you know it, is called Valyrta, and it looks exactly like the map in front of you. At least that is what the cartographers believe. Valyrta has 3 major continents. They have Grugnak up in the northwest, the Jungle Islands, the million Jungle Islands from where all the orcs seem to come. Disbanturia in the southwest, where a queen called Sinaria is ruling. Sinaria loves slaves because she can use them to build all of her monuments. She can use them to improve her reign as she wants to. They are free workforce. And we have Ropesvia in the right-hand side of the map, the largest continent, which is being bound together by the legendary Iron Bridge. For once was the land there a big piece of land, but it was split when an ice golem exploded in the middle of the country. The bridge took more than 100 years to build, but it is there to stay. Ropesvia doesn't have one ruler, it's a big continent. Instead, it actually exists clans, tribes, and bigger societies that rule their own small piece of land. There's no dedicated borders, but the people protect the lands they care about and try to live in respect or disrespect of each other. However, our adventure takes place in Banturia. Let's go over there. Banturia has a climate kind of like a southern European country. You can imagine Italy, France, Austria. In the very south, you have some snow and some mountains, but the higher up north you come, the warmer it gets and the closer you get to the Grugnak Islands where the orc comes from. The capital is called Guertaza, and that is where the queen of the land lives and reigns from. Guertaza is a several million citizens city that has developed quite far. And it is ruled by the queen and her famous or infamous Black Guard. They're wearing only black armors and black capes. She has a ginormous army and is called in the common tongue the Queen of Magic, for she uses her dark magic to get her will through. I was speaking a little bit about slaves before. The major workforce in Banturia is orc slaves that are being shipped down from the islands. So the queen tends to send big ships with her black guard to the orc islands and fetch as many orcs as she needs. They whip them into submission, and whoever does not obey gets a death penalty.
Gratitude.
But it is not in Guertaza where our adventure starts. It is in the small area of the land called Rime. Rime is famous for one thing alone, and it is the Judgment Tower. This is where the queen is holding all of her prisoners. Rime is actually not the name of the tower. It's the name of a small coast town close to the tower. But the prison tower is what is famous, and therefore that is what you can see on the map. This tower has a peculiar system that is very known to everyone living in Banturia. The closer you get to the bottom floor, the closer you are to death. It is a high tower. Some say it's 20 floors high, some say it's 50, but no one knows who hasn't been there, for it is surrounded by a very big wall with iron spikes. And as far as I know, no one has seemed to be able to survive escaping the Tower of Rime, the Tower of Judgment. We're going to follow 4 adventurers today, and I'm going to tell the chat a little bit about them, I think, and then I'll allow them to chip in them myself. Does that sound all right for everyone?
Yes.
Perfect.
Sounds good.
I'm going to tell the story about a band of adventurers who have gathered together in their hatred for the queen of the country and the hatred against the injustice which is going on. For very different reasons have they traveled together, but they have been traveling together. They have been forced to do so. A few months ago, Andre Lecouvert, the mechanic who is turning magic into mechanics, known for his little ladybug robot that follows along with him and allows him to perform wonders, he heard of a job that would finally make him rich. One of the important tribesmen in the orc settlement up in the north had been captured and was on a ship on his way to Rime to become trained as a slave. If this chieftain could be captured, or freed from the captives rather, and brought back to the orc tribe that he leads, imagine the riches they would throw over him. Imagine that Andre could be rich and a hero both at the same time. The money he needed for his poor family, but the fame to regain the love of his life. This was his. Andre, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
When you see Andre, the first thing you notice is the face. It is a face that says, I want to be this person's friend. He has this fluffy mop of hair on top, blonde, and a nice, wonderful mullet that falls down to the back of his shoulders. He has exquisitely blue eyes that pierce you right to your soul, and he seems to be smiling all the time, no matter what. But as you look even closer to Andre, you notice that he has chiseled himself a very intricate leather vest. It comes with formed pecs, a six-pack that emphasize his muscles, supposedly. But going even further down, you will see these strange contraptions wrapped around his legs. Yes, seems like a very jolly and friendly fellow in the prime of his life and with really high functioning physique.
Thank you. We're going to continue and make a little detour to some of the other adventures, and then we'll get back to how you're all connected. Speaking of Grugnak and the high islands in the north where the orcs come, I want to tell you about a boy or a young man called the Pirate Prince. Why was he called the Pirate Prince? Well, his father was a famous sailor, a rebellion, a freedom fighter, who had his whole life been struggling to help the orcs, who have realized that the orcs are not enemies. They might live their lives slightly different. They live in tribes. They tend to prioritize nature before things like building cities. They use songs instead of medicine to heal each other when they're wounded. They lead different lives. They speak in a different way. But they are not monsters because they're green skin in their tusks. They are just different. And that is also the fact of this world, depending on how you see it. The orcs are not born with a will to kill and slay everything. They might be more brutish, they might be more aggressive in the way that they speak and communicate. But they have no evil intentions. They can have, but that is something that a normal man, dwarf or elf can as well. The Pirate Prince grew up alongside of his father, rescuing orc captives, fighting the Queen's Black Guard, smuggling goods to help the poor people survive, as the Queen was raising the taxes and raising the taxes even more until the peasants and farmers had nothing left. The real name of the Pirate Prince, however, was Coulter. Coulter's father was, as you know, the Pirate King. He is, alas, long dead and said to be buried along with him with his secret treasure on a small island up in the north. His mother is long gone, and Coulter has grown up without the mother. But, according to the Pirate King, in a happy place. The young Pirate Prince was at the age of 16, around a year ago, traveling the northern islands, and as he was walking through the swamps, he heard this strange singing, almost magical weaving. There he saw her. She didn't look like human, but neither nor like a monster. Green-tainted skin, yellow cat-like eyes. From her head, instead of hair, there were vines and flowers. You could almost smell the summer breeze as she was getting closer and closer. She was beautiful, but she looked deadly, and she was angry. For she was a nymph of the jungle, protecting the long-dead mother tree. In her hatred for humankind, she had swore that any human that would pass by, she would kill. And she would drown the ground in their blood in hope to revive the mother tree. They stood eye to eye, and it was not long until they fought each other. The pirate prince with his quick rapier, the jungle nymph with her magical spells and vines sprouting out from her hands. She was Morelia, the protector of the mother tree. The fight was even, deadly and very even. And after a quite long fight, both Morelia and Coulter were lying on the ground beside each other, bleeding to death, hopeless. They had gained nothing. The prince just wanted to protect himself, and Morelia what she believed in. Morelia did something desperate. She lashed out a final vine into the body of the pirate prince, who stared at her with shocked eyes. As he started coughing blood, trying to say, Why? Morelia smiled. There was a glow emitting from her body, traveling through the vine into the pirate prince. He started twisting and turning, half of his face getting green-tated and a cat's eye suddenly looking out from the left side of the body. The hair falling off and out instead sprouting vines and flowers. Even a more feminine body started taking shape on the whole left side. And they were now one, for they both had the energy and power left to survive as one, but not alone. The mortal enemy was now using the pirate prince as her vessel. 2 minds, 1 body. 2 wills, 1 body. But what they shared was the hatred for the tyrant queen of Banturia. For she was also the one who had cut down the mother tree in attempt to take its power for her own dark magic. Do you have anything to add, my dear friends? And yes, chat, you understood correct. NoctuaMik and Mercury Hunter will be playing 2 different characters in 1 body.
Nothing to add that would even begin to be like how you described it. It was absolutely beautiful. Yeah.
Okay. You're happy with the description? Do you want to tell me a little bit about your looks, or are you happy like that?
I'm happy. You wanna? I think you basically got me down there. So.
Well,
do you know Flynn Rider from Tangled?
yes.
Just imagine a character sort of in his vein.
Oh, yes. Yes. Perfect.
I'm imagining it's coming up successful, definitely.
Last but not least, a childhood friend of the pirate prince. An underdog, if you will. A dirty offspring. A half-orc. Who would accept a half-orc? The humans believe that love between human and orc is wrong. At least, that's what the queen claims. Anyone with orc blood is to be sentenced to death because it's unpure and ugly. Well, what would a half-orc do then in the Orc Islands, in Grugnak, where they have a face that will constantly remind them of their slavers? To know that this half-orc is carrying something with them, reminding them constantly of the whips, of the chains, of the fire branding that happens to every orc as they reach the shore of Guertasa or Rime. That, my friends, is the fate of Nartak, the half-orc. With nowhere left to go, he was able to join the crew of the Pirate King and the Pirate Prince. They grew up side by side, and the mix of blood led to quite a peculiar young man. Someone who was sturdy, and could take a beating, but was weak and couldn't lift the cannonballs himself at the ships. When people saw him, they were surprised that he never won at arm wrestling, but yet he was buff like an ox. From his mouth, 2 tusks sticking out. Not the same green, dark, brown tinted skin as the orcs, but a lighter one, still with the hints of the orcs, and the sharp eyebrows. There was something interesting about this man, for he was ugly yet beautiful. He was still charismatic, but you could see that something was different, or off. Growing up with pirates, or smugglers, or rebellions, whatever you want to call them, depends on where you come from in the country. You take up a trick or two. The way of the tongue, and no, this is not how to seduce the ladies and men of the court. This is the way how to craft fake certificates, how to turn enemies on each other. The way how you could steal a key to the prison from a guard without him noticing at all. This young half-orc became the ultimate scoundrel. My dear Degradation, is there anything you would like to add about your character?
A little bit. So Nartak is completely like his entire character is based around the fact that wherever he went, he wasn't accepted, be it either among humans or among orcs. And for those reasons, he had to develop certain skills. Like how to remain hidden and how to convince others that he was no threat. Because really, defending himself has always been an incredibly hard thing for Nartak to do, seeing as even though he looked quite intimidating, really he's no use in a fist fight unless if some dexterity is required. So that's basically what I wanted to add. That's it. That's
nice. I like that.
That's me.
And you all know each other because this orc chieftain that I was telling you about, this grand job which could earn a lot of money, which was important for Andre. He had heard of the smugglers, he had heard of the freedom fighters, and he needed people. So he desperately scrambled what he could. And since it was for a good cause, you decided to try to join him and in rescuing this orc chieftain, who would also be an important key person in the rebellion against the queen. However, it didn't go very well. You can remember the smell of burning sails, blood. You can remember the screams, the rattling of chains, how you were fighting desperately. You can remember black armors and black capes. Until each and every one of you took a beating so hard that you could see and think no more. Everything is black. Everything is dark. Are you sleeping? Maybe. Did you pass out? Most likely. It's time for the morning shower, my lovelies. I'm gonna get you nice and cleaned up for your hanging. You hear a voice as you wake up. Cold water is being thrown through the prison bars and onto your faces. You find yourself all dressed in cloth sacks that now are being soaked by ice-cold water. You're sharing a small prison cell without any windows. The prison smells like piss and blood and vomit. You can hear whining, you can hear screaming, and 2 men dressed in black armors are facing you on the other side of the bars. One is holding an empty bucket. He is fat. The armor barely fits and you can see bulges sticking out here and there. He has fiery red hair and a mustache, and is grinning at you with an ugly smile and yellow teeth. Beside him, a very tall, very thin man. Looks like he's wearing some kind of emblem, but you don't know what it means. Also dressed in black, but a finer armor. This one without any facial hair at all. And his hair is arranged in small braids. Yeah, so you decided to wake up, finally. I think it is no secret to why you are here, and you shall be granted no final wishes. For resisting the Queen deserves only the worst. Both of them turn away, and they start walking down the corridor. Their footsteps echoes loudly. It seems you must be in a big place, made out of stone. On the other side of the corridor, you can see more bars. There, on the ground, 2 bodies lying still. They look like women. You don't recognize their clothes. They're lying there just lifeless on the ground. My dear friends, this is how your adventure begins. And now it's up to you to take it from here. I have no fog of war, so I just have to ask you to be respectful of what you have not seen. I'm going to drag your characters over to the side of the screen where you are. You're basically cramped up here in this small cell, all 4 of you. And for those of you not catching on, the character of Mercury Hunter and NoctuaMik is 2 different characters, but they're sharing body. So that's why they only have 1 token.
Okay. What are we wearing?
You are wearing cloth sacks. Cloth
Okay.
sacks. And it's basically going barely to your knees. It's just ripped holes for the arms. All of your items that you are used to carry with you are not on you at all anymore. The cloth is starting to stick to the body, and you're freezing because of the ice cold water that the guards have been throwing on you.
Okay. Lady A, do I have her?
No,
Have I managed to hide
you
her
don't have Lady A. Do you want to tell the chat a little bit about your ladybug?
I have a magicanical ladybug that I built throughout all my life. It was a thing that I've been tinkering when my parents were gone, working triple shifts at whatever jobs they could find. And I was left alone at home, and for some reason, this ladybug was the thing that I was building day in and day out, night, you name it. I was always on it. I managed to combine magic and mechanics into this small being that has become my friend, and something even more that then helps me to channel my combination of technical know-how and magic into all kinds of results.
Okay.
That is Lady A.
Can you give us some example of what she can perform?
She can help be the conduit of my technical magic, heal, hurt. There's if you're imagining a Swiss Army knife of tricks and tools of whatever one needs in my line of profession, being a smuggler and seeker of a better life, Lady A is the answer to that.
Cool.
Would
So Ladybug is not with
sackcloth-
you. No.
Would the sackcloth count as a robe, so I could use my skills to turn it into something useful after, I guess, what we've just experienced is close to a long rest?
You have no other items. You have no tools. You have nothing. You just have the cloth.
Yes, because I could still convert it into something.
If you want to, you can try. You can try to convert it into something.
Okay. I need to, just check that this is possible. What I can do is I can do something called infusion, and I can infuse some magical technical properties to robes or armor. So the sackcloth, if it counts as a robe, I could infuse it with something called a mind sharpener, where then if I fail a Constitution saving throw, then I can use a reaction to succeed instead. So it's just kind of is a Constitution buffer.
You're allowed to do that once.
Okay.
On one of the sackcloths. Yes.
Yes.
I have some questions before we head out. Did I know that? Sorry, let me check the names again. Like I have known Coulter. No, Coulter, right? That's
Yes.
my childhood friend.
Yes.
Yes.
Have I known him since the transformation or not?
You knew him even before the transformation.
But also after.
Yes.
So I'm not like, what the hell happened to you?
No. It might still bother you. It might still bother you, but you know.
And Andre is unknown to me otherwise.
Yes, you know him because you've been sailing together for a little while now, trying to rescue the orc chieftain. Because it would bring you a lot of money and fame, but it will also be an important move in the rebellion against the queen to free him. He has a high political value.
I'm just gonna say, gentleman and lady, I guess we need to find a way to get out of here because I'm not dying in a cell, wet and drenched in this pitiful tunic. And I want to see. Can I somehow reach those two bodies to see, like, how far away are those two bodies lying on the floor?
Oh, there's like 10 feet in between the bars. So that would be 3 meters, approximately.
My arms aren't that long.
No, you don't have 3-meter arms, unfortunately.
All right, I'm just... I have a small idea. I don't know. It's a long shot, but we could tie our tunics together, our cloth, and see if we can somehow reel in those corpses. I can maybe fashion...
The bars are quite with a tight distance. It will be hard to get a body through them.
Okay. Not the entire body.
As you're standing there and thinking, you hear footsteps again. It sounds like heavy footsteps. Boots dressed in metal. And you hear... like the hinges of metal grinding against something. Quite soon before you stands the fat guard again, with a new bucket of ice-cold water. Well, I think you didn't look clean enough. Especially you. He spits you in the face, degradation. You are dirty and I hope they kill you first. And then he throws the water over all the 4 of you. He has a hard time breathing because he's so fat and the armor is so heavy. Then he takes up one of his daggers from his belt.
You
starts watching it.
Eternal gratitude.
Or maybe I should do it myself. I love the taste of orc blood. You know what? You're born just like cattle to be our slaves. And I would happily fuck one of you, as the one might have done with your mother or father, but then I would rip the womb out myself to prevent that disgusting
Shut up,
kind
you
of
fool.
life.
You couldn't stand up against in a fight against any of us. Least of all my friend, whose name I've forgotten, even though I've known him my whole life. Sorry, what's your name again?
You want to...
Nartak.
You want to fight me? You think you can fight me? I'm part of the Black Guard, and I've been so my whole life.
Come in here and we can have a fight.
You're trying to trick me with that kind of weird face. I don't know what kind of magic you would be using. No, do you know what? I'm just going to wait and smile because you are on the 2nd floor. So when the new break of dawn comes, I'm going to sing at your execution. I'm going to smile, you disgusting orc lover. He spits you in the face as well, and then he turns around with a bucket, the dagger.
Pay no heed to him. All humans the same.
Am I in a position to
What-
quickly? Can I see if he has any keys jangling on his person or something like that?
If you can what?
If I can see any keys jangling on his person.
You can see a small pouch by the back of his belt. If you want, you can try to stretch for it quickly as he turns around.
I would like to try that.
Okay, then I would need a sleight of hand check, please. So if you go into the deep pengu and you roll your dice, I can check up your values. I have your character sheet, so you don't need to worry too much about that. That goes for all of you, if you want to. So you just roll the dice, and your sleight of hand bonus is +4.
Oh,
Look at the screen.
It just had a
It's
little...
being slightly hidden, but we can see it's a 6.
Okay, I need to duck, Mark.
Yeah, I'm gonna fix this. I will just stretch and move the screen slightly. This is not a problem.
Yes.
Oh, there we go, ninja style. So it's a 6, and with your bonus it's a 9. And through those bars, you're getting a penalty, and it won't be enough. So you reach out and you try to grasp it, and the guard suddenly turns around. So you're perverted too, you little.
Waka welcomes you.
Takes up
I'm
his
not the
dagger,
one that said something about ripping
Takes
out
up
my
his
own
dagger.
leg, sir.
and he grabs your cloth, barely, because his arm is so thick, so it barely goes through the bars. He pulls you towards the bars. He pushes his face close towards you. I'm going to make sure that you wish you were never born. I'm going to bring the torture master on you to get you ready for your sentence tomorrow.
How
And then
close
just
are
pushes
we
you away.
to him before you do that?
Actually, I'm not going to allow any more moves because it's very cramped up in the prison, so you can't barely stand in front of the bars here at the same time. It's great that you want to interact, but this time I won't give you the opportunity. The guard walks away again, and of course your blood is boiling with anger. I also want to do a disclaimer and say that this is going to be a serious adventure. It might hold some comical moments, but there might be torture, there might be rape, there might be... I have not prepared. I've only prepared the map, so this is all what's going to come from my fantasy. I will not exaggerate anything, but I will portray the ugly sides of war and the world as well. And it won't only be a feel-good Dungeons and Dragons adventure. So if you ever feel uncomfortable, it's okay to state in the chat or step away for a moment. Okay. You were there, and when you heard the talk about the second floor, it rings a bell. I don't know if you remember what I said in the start, but there is a famous town called Rime, and by the town of Rime lies the Judgment Tower, the prisoner tower of the Queen. The very tall tower, and the closer you move down to the bottom floor, the closer you are to death. If you're currently on the second floor, it means that within just a few hours, when day breaks, you will die. And when you get sentenced to death, it's amusement for the Queen and her guards. It is not a quick hanging or an axe to the neck. It is death by torture, as you're being mocked and laughed at by the Queen and her followers. There you are. You're cold, you're freezing, and that's all I give you for now.
Okay, I'm gonna cower as far away from everyone else in a corner as possible, and then I will take off the sackcloth. I'm kind of naked there, hunched in a corner, If you look, what you can see is a body that is very extremely thin. The legs are toothpick wide. The knees are very obviously protruding these kind of lumps in between the shins and the rest of the legs. You could put your hands around the waist and get your fingers connecting. That's how thin this guy is without his regular clothes. He's mumbling some words, making some very, very quick movements with his hands. Then he puts the sackcloth back on him, and the sackcloth has made this shape of a muscular upper body that mocks even further his very, very gangly legs. As he puts it on, his posture that was curved like an old man's starts straightening up with a crackle of bone and sinew, and he groans a little bit in pain, and then he stands up a little bit straighter, still smiling, and then looks around. What do you want to do, people? We are prisoners. How do we get out of here?
Question for the DM.
Yes.
Quickly. What creatures have we kind of come across in, like, you know?
You are quite few thousand years old, so you've seen your fair share of animals in the jungle. You've seen snakes, you've seen tigers, some kind of small weird bears. There's also some fantasy creatures and animals. So if you just ask me, is this something in my arsenal, I can say yes or no, or give you a variation.
Okay. I'll think about it.
Yes?
I need to Google.
Birds as well. So you can go ahead. No. You can ask me on stream. That's okay.
Dungeon Master, we said that I can't do any spells without Lady A. Is that still true? So I can't do it. Okay.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Can we transform into like a small fey-like creature?
So if you transform, either culture needs to allow you to take full control of the body, and then as long as you're transformed, you're in full control. But he can try to break it by a dice roll, or you have to compete with him in a dice roll. But you can transform. Not a fey creature. You could transform into a small bird or a mouse or a snake, but you can't. It's more normal animals or beasts.
Okay. Okay.
Could all of you please throw a perception check? So just roll the die one time each.
I've already rolled. I maybe should have.
Good. No, it's
we
great.
can do it at the same time?
It's great. Yes, we can do it at the same
What
time.
a great system. Who made this? Oh, I see nothing.
Ooh.
Okay. So degradation.
I've got spit in my eye. That's
Yes. Or should we say? Now I even forgot your name. That's a little bit embarrassing. Nartak. Nartak.
you made the name.
You are so full of fury. You're so full of fury that you cannot comprehend your surroundings at all right now. You're even holding the bars and thinking that even with your weak strength you could break them because you need to kill this guard who humiliated you so bad in front of everyone else. And since you've been out on the seas, you're not used to people being this mean to you. You're not used to this, but this is what the orcs and the half-orcs on this side of the sea lives with every day. I think that I'm just looking at the stats of both the hunter and the Mickey, and I say that Mickey, you hear some kind of weird buzzing sound, like bzz, 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 like something trying to break free or something, and scratches with tiny legs. You don't know where it comes from. It's very subtle, but it reminds you of some of the bugs in the jungle.
Do you hear that?
What do you
I
mean?
mean,
Well, I've got one ear, you've got the other ear.
yes,
nothing.
I can hear it. If you can hear it, I can hear it.
Oh, that's what I'm asking, Pirate.
I don't know where it is. It must be nearby. What creature is it?
We've been traveling with I'm gonna need to learn names. We've been traveling with Mark for a while, so we'll know more or less what his insect would sound like, right?
Yes. Do you want to try to listen closer?
I want to try and listen closer for sure.
Okay. Could you just roll the die and I decide the check for you. Let's see here what we're gonna call this. We're gonna make this a
Did it roll?
an Arcana check. You have a +3. Oh no.
There we go.
Okay. So it's 11. You can't decide or not if it is the ladybug or not. You don't know. It could be, but it could be something totally different.
Okay.
Have I heard them talking about it?
As he heard you. How loud did you speak?
I'm not ashamed. I speak my mind out loud. So you probably heard me.
What do you heard something? I hear nothing.
It's almost like some kind of skittling.
Isn't this
We're
something?
wondering if it was your little mosquito thing,
But there's not
ladybug.
Not enough information to know, though.
It's not a mosquito. I can tell you that.
Sorry.
You hear footsteps again.
Oh wait.
This
Someone's
time
coming.
it sounds like 3 persons. By the judge.
Where did you hear it? Where did you hear this insect? This.
I cannot pinpoint where it's coming from. Hear me out. Hear me out. We need to get out of here. None of us can fit through these bars, not even Skinny over there.
The footsteps gets closer and closer to the cell.
We should really turn into a small creature. Hear me out.
You hear heavy
Now,
breathing.
Rat.
Quiet.
And there stands the fat guard again. With one guard that you haven't seen before. And also a woman fully dressed in white-collared leather. With bloodstains, a lot of bloodstains. Around her stomach, there is a big, thick belt with lots of different knives and tools. Yeah? Is this my little plaything? She licks her lips and say, as she's pointing towards Garnak. I think I do know just the way I'm going to make him ready for the execution tomorrow. The fat guard runs. Yes, he needs a special treatment now. It's messing with my temper. The fat guard takes out a key. And with shaking, eager hands, he starts opening the gate.
I move away from the bars.
You all stay
back
close to
myself
the
into a
walls.
corner.
We just need the green skin. The other guard, wearing a helmet, so you can basically see who it is, walks in, grasps you by the wrists with extreme strength, and starts pulling you out.
I try to slip my hands away. I try to wiggle myself out of it. I know I'm not gonna win this
Okay.
with my.
Can you give me an athletics check? So do a roll.
Yes.
So you have a +0. So it's whatever you roll is what you get.
It's
You have to have the
rolling,
tab
but-
open.
there it is.
Wait, there we go.
Are you kidding me?
It's a natural 1 again.
What?
Oh no.
Wow.
It's a natural
Can we
1.
transform into like a wolf or a bear?
Yes.
I want to do that
Mickey
right
can
now.
do it.
I'll give her control.
Okay. Just give me 1 second. I'll see if I can do some magic with the background screen. The window capture. I should be able to move it up slightly like this.
Mm-hmm.
Going to be better. I guess. Oops, sorry. Yes, what animal do you wish to wild shift into?
A wolf.
A wolf.
Yes.
So I think we need to roll initiative.
Okay.
So everyone roll initiative. I will roll for quiet. You have your You have your 1, you have your derp there. I'm going to count that in so you don't have to roll an initiative. Or you can still roll an initiative, but you're gonna fail the first round. You'll waste falling on the floor and then trying to stand up.
Right.
My initiative was horrible.
I'm trying.
And okay. So the order this time will be Master of the Dungeon, Degradation, and then it's a tie. And then I actually think that shapeshifting takes a little bit of time, so I will steal the initiative and you will go last.
Ooh.
That sound okay?
Okay.
Yeah, fair.
That's fair.
All right.
So we're in the middle of a thing. You can see the guard struggling for a little while with the Harfork, but after a while, the guard gets enough. He takes up both hands and he just smashes him like this, and you can see your friend falling to the floor, and you hear a big slam as even his bones is touching the very prison floor made out of stone. A jolt of pain is echoing throughout your body, and you almost freeze up because it's too painful to even think for a while. You lose 2 HP. You can remove them in the D&D Beyond if you or if you want to, I'll keep track for you. Okay, Andre, what do you want to do?
All right. The woman has lots of tools on the belt, right?
Yes, I'm going to pull I'm going to pull everyone into the battle map if you give me a second, but feel free and to talk to me.
So I want to steal. What does she have?
What she has?
Yeah. Does she have like a knife and a hammer and all the torture tools?
She has a lot of torture tools. Yes, it's a big arsenal of small screws, knives, basically anything you could imagine.
Like have a light hammer, a little hammer, and a little knife.
You want to steal a little hammer and a little knife in the heat of the battle?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Go ahead. I guess that's you're not hidden at all. So there's no bonuses to this. I'm rather thinking you will actually get a penalty to this.
Yeah. Sleight of hand.
Roll sleight of hand with disadvantage.
Okay. So here's my first one.
Yep.
Ooh, yeah, 15.
Okay, that's a good one.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Okay.
Can we see the second one?
All right, and let's do the second one.
And if anyone has questions in the chat, I'm sorry that I'm not keeping track, but I'm so into the dungeon mastering at the moment, so feel free to poke me. I hope you're enjoying
I got
this.
+5.
So it's still a 15.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to have to make a roll for her, I think, for her perception.
I'm not really trying to be like hidden about it. I just want to kind of swiftly run by and get stuff.
You managed to snatch the tools that you want.
Okay.
But you had to use both your move to move a little bit closer to her because she's standing a little bit more protected. So basically what you do, she's still on the other side of the bars. It's a small opening. So you basically rushed up there, squeezed between your friends, and just out with the hands, pulled the tools from the belt and pulled them into your cell again. That's what you managed to do.
Okay.
Yes.
So I'm back in the cell.
You're back in the cell. You may have a small action, but not your full action. Bonus action.
Can I listen for this phantom clickety insecty sound?
You can listen for
Morelia.
it. Roll a perception check for me.
Yes. Let's see. Perception +2.
Okay. So you hear the clickety sound, and it's definitely your ladybug, and it sounds like she is stuck in some kind of wooden crate or barrel or chest, something made out of wood. You can hear her struggling against wood and trying to get out, trying to reach you and help you, probably.
Where is this?
It sounds like it is coming from your right side, but you can't decide how far. So somewhere in this room, most likely, or from a prison cell to the right.
Okay. Right.
Yes.
All right. Okay, so that's pretty much that's all I have. I've used all my move and everything. Yes.
Degradation. Could you tell me you've been knocked to the floor, slammed to the floor. So what I want from you is not an action or a move. I just want to know a bit how your character is thinking and feeling right now.
I'm still seething with rage, and this is not helping. I fall to the floor. I can take a punch. Actually, I've been taking punches all of my life, but my entire mind is going blank with rage, and I just want to get at this fat guard's throat for spitting in my face and for disrespecting who I am.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I'm scrambling to get up.
Okay. Cool. What I'm doing right now is I'm winning a little bit of time to get my tokens in there for my guards.
But I can't do anything my turn, right? I
Mickey
just
has
have to.
You can't do anything. You can start moving it. No, you can't. Being slammed to the ground like that, you're really frozen. But you're standing here with the guard, and then we have the torturer lady there. I know the tokens are a bit too big for the scale, but you'll live with this today. This is what I could arrange on short notice with a chaotic life with a sick baby.
That is lovely.
But I hope this will still give you some kind of idea. Okay, let's take this bearded one as a fat. I'm getting one last token in there, and then we're ready to go. Okay. I think the first one to react is the guard who just slammed your half-orc friend to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And what he does is actually he's trying to stomp down on him with his foot. He's trying to stomp your face. What is your armor class?
My armor class is 12.
Okay. You might be in trouble.
It feels like I'm in trouble. All right.
Oh.
All right, it's not
Okay.
just me. That's good to know.
So, high on adrenaline, the guard lifts his leg in a very secure manner, ready to stomp your face to the ground and actually kill you. He smashes his foot down as hard as he can, but falls. He hits a wet stone from all of the water that the previous guard has been throwing on the ground, and he falls and slips. Hits himself in the back of the head, and he's lying down prone. Next up comes the fat guard. The fat guard brings out a throwing dagger from lower down on his leg, hidden somewhere. He basically just holds it like this and tries to throw it into the cell. And he's trying to pierce our dear pirate prince / forest nymph because he can see something magical is going on and he's getting scared. What is your armor class? I'm gonna take the armor class of Mickey this time, since
10.
yeah, you have no equipment. I don't know if violence is the go-to way here, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Did we save the game?
It's a +2, so it's actually a hit. Last.
Oh,
But the damage is not dangerous. You take 4 hit points of damage. Okay. The fat guard throws the knife, staring with scared eyes and following it, how it goes directly into your shoulder and actually pierces it. But as the transformation is going on and the bleeding starts, the dagger kind of pops out of the shoulder. I know that you wanted to shift, so I'm letting. But we're gonna get to your character in a second because both of you will get the chance to do something. Actually, the master torturer is looking surprised at the stolen tools from her belt, and she's putting up a little grin. Interesting, she says in a calm way, even though you're in the middle of the battle. and she takes out something which looks like a very thin whip. She rolls out it. It's not made out of rope, rather out of some kind of steel or chains, and on it there are small spikes. And she snatches with it through the bar towards Andre, who has just been stealing her instruments. What is your armor class, my friend?
13.
13.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a hit actually,
Ah.
and the damage is a 1d8 natural. It's 4 damage.
Okay.
As she whips you, small iron spikes gets through the cloth on your body and starts tagging, pulling, tugging into the flesh of your body, and you can feel it ripping up part of your chest as they are leaving the body again, and she's getting ready to whip another time. Yes, it works, he says, and smiles.
I will keep smiling back and says, "It's Andra without an H."
Good. Okay, now you have the possibility, my dear Pirate Prince, to do something before you turn, if you want to. Because even though you're one character, you will share the movement, but you will get one action each. So you can strike or do something with one hand, and Mickey is allowed to do something with the other side. You're basically a dual action character because of this limitation. I have to give you something nice. Kinky indeed.
That is cool. I was not prepared for this. I think then... I know the dagger fell out of us, that throwing dagger.
Yes.
Is there any chance I can just reach it and sort of like...
Yeah,
stab
you have my blessing. That can be your bonus action.
Yes. Then I'd like to do that.
So you reach for the dagger, you manage to pick it up even though it's crowded in there.
Yeah. And
Do you
I'll
want to do
stab
something-
it to one of the guards that I can't really tell who's where, but I'm sure
So,
it's a scramble. One next
You are
to
in
me.
this corner. Or actually it's the other way around. Let me correct this. Actually, Andre is in this corner and you are in this corner because he's been nagging. This is the torture lady, this is the fat guard, and this is the guard who is lying down. You can move over and reach either the guard lying down or the fat guard, depending on what you have movement for it. You can squeeze by.
I think I'll go for the fat guard, who I think is closest nearby. I mean, not the fat, sorry, the fallen guard.
The fallen guard?
Who's closest nearby.
Okay. You have an advantage on your attack, so you can roll an attack roll twice, and let's see how it goes. I think you have a bonus with weapons with finesse. Actually, since you can actually attach the dagger to your character, or do you want me to do it for you?
Yeah, if you could do it, please.
Okay, I'm giving you a dagger. In the meanwhile, let me reset this so that we can roll a second time. Oops, there we go. And go ahead and roll. Okay, the first value was still. Wait, was it a 20, the old one? No, it's mine. What does it say an old value for you?
I've taken it out from the mobile, so it doesn't.
Okay.
It was 13.
13, right? So
Yeah.
let me quickly give you the knife. Thank you for everyone for having patience, and I'm gonna find here. If we go for the word knife or dagger, matters not, but I shall give you an item. Let's see here. Oops. The system is derping slightly for me. There we go. You have a dagger in your inventory now. I'm equipping it for you. And if you look under actions, you can see that you actually have a +5 to your attacks with dagger.
Oh, wow.
Your damage is 1d4 +5 as well, so you have a pretty cool. It's your kind of weapon. So it's definitely a hit. Can you? Oh, this is now I reset. So this is gonna be bad for the damage. Roll once more again. We're not gonna count this value, but just roll more once again. This is the thing under development. I'm
I can't
saying
roll
for the-
D4.
You just roll a d20 first. Do the normal roll first,
Okay.
and then just press the d4 button. It will be fixed later on.
Got it.
Okay, so it's a 2, but you had a bonus, right?
Yes.
Of plus 5. It's 7 damage. Where do you want to stab the lying down guard?
By the knee, I think. Let's keep him down. He won't be able to get back up again.
Okay.
Is my hope.
So with your advantage, you're rushing up to him, and as you're about to transform into a wolf, with both hands grasping the dagger, you are going directly at the kneecaps, digging the knife deep into the kneecaps of the guard, and kind of twisting it. You can hear him screaming in pain. "Ah!" And it echoes throughout the tower. If there are more guards in this tower, they have probably heard you by now.
Oh no.
As you start transforming, the dagger magically disappears with your hands, and out from the kneecap sips a lot of blood from the wounded guard. There you stand as a big, proud wolf. Oh! You howl out as you're getting ready for your next move. Mickey.
Well, you're a wolf now.
Yeah.
Why don't you take a bite? Or
I have a
So,
stat block
I'm-
for you, so you just tell me what you want to do and I'll keep the stats for you. Don't worry about that.
Okay, so I've only got one move, so that includes like movement and attack, right? So I can't do like a small move
You
and
cannot.
attack.
You can make a small push, maybe. Tell me what you want to do, because you're already up here, basically on him.
Okay, because I just want to stand on the guy on the ground.
What
so
do you
that I
want to
can
do?
attack- I want to like shift slightly, just to kind of like stand on the guard.
Yes.
I'm pinned almost,
Yeah, you
and
can.
then
You can
attack
continue the
that way.
momentum. You can continue. I mean, you're already standing over his knee. That's fine. You
Yeah,
can stand.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Okay, so after the attack, the momentum, we just kind of kept it, and the wolf stayed on top of the guard on the floor.
Yes.
But she turned her interest towards the larger guard,
Yes.
who is closer to our companions.
Yes, but he's
just
close
gonna-
enough. I mean, you're standing really cramped up here. It's a
Yeah.
small. So, do you want to go for the larger guy?
Yes, I want to go straight for him.
Okay. Do you want to bite or scratch?
I want to bite at his shoulder.
You want to make a jump and bite at his shoulder.
But if he's close enough, I don't have to jump.
You're a wolf and he's a really big guy.
Okay, I'm gonna claw rather than.
You're up to his waist, basically, in how high you are, like a big dog. You
I
would.
think I'm gonna claw rather than at his hip, if I'm that size.
Okay, it's up to you. Both is fine. Okay, you wanna use the claws.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, so if you roll an attack roll for me.
Cool. Oh.
Okay. So, in full Wolven Rage mode, you start latching out with your claws, but you're striking only air because you have misjudged the distance to the guard. And even though he is fat, like a troll, you cannot reach him with your claws at the moment.
Okay.
Andre, what do you do?
Okay, I can't move past them, can I? Because it's so crowded, so I can't get into the into where I hear Lady A scrambling.
You're very thin. You're a very thin man. You can try to squeeze through if you want to with an acrobatics check.
Okay, so and the woman with the white leather apron. I
Yes,
guess?
he's on the other side of the prison bars, basically.
Okay, so I could go first, move to her, and take a slash with my dagger.
Okay. Do you have a dagger?
So, yes, I stole one from her.
Oh, yes. A hammer and... Did you steal a dagger as well?
A knife and a hammer.
Okay, good.
Shall we count it as a dagger then?
Count it as a dagger and go ahead.
Okay, so I moved. I moved one step
Yeah.
towards the woman. Well, the woman is which one? 2 or?
This one. It's number 2, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So then I will slash with my knife with my right hand.
Okay, do a
first.
roll for us.
And there we go. I get a +5 for this one. Okay, it's a 13.
Okay. So, you actually make it, but barely.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. And then some damage.
Is there any bonus?
There is bonus 3.
Okay. It's a 7.
Oh, it's a 4.
4?
Yes.
8 damage.
No, sorry,
Okay,
sorry. It's plus 3, but I was celebrating the 4 on a.
Okay, so it's a 7. So you walk up to the bars and you try to slash her through the bars, basically.
Yes.
Okay. So the woman looks surprised at you as you're rushing up to her and slashing her with a knife. Actually, right on the chest, in the middle of the chest, and it cuts through a piece of her white leather, and some blood is starting to pour out of her body. He picks down one hand, picks the blood up, and licks it. He smiles at you.
Okay.
Starts to laugh like a maniac.
Right.
Yes.
So, then I take the hammer and I hit her with it as well
Go ahead.
with my left hand. So, do we know her?
Yes. Where do you want
Oh.
to strike her?
Okay, on the temple.
Yep. Give me a damage value of the hammer.
Okay. So, this is a strength related thing. I get a -1. Oh, sorry, I did a reset here. I shouldn't have done that. So I'll do that. I'm still trying.
I'll ignore the next roll. Yes, you still have your 19.
So -1 on that one. So 1 damage.
Okay. So you aim the hammer up, and you try to hit. You actually hit her in the temple, but she kind of moves away a bit, so it slides, and she's looking a bit like annoyed by it. But you really didn't do any incredible damage to her.
Okay.
Okay. It is.
Can I do my rest of my move then?
Yes,
Or is
you're
that too much to
allowed to
ask?
try to continue your move.
Okay. So I'll. Do you want me to first do the acrobatics check
Yes.
and see if I manage to slip through?
Yes.
Okay. Let's do that. I managed to squeeze in so many throws on one turn.
Okay. Do you have a bonus?
I do +3, 13.
Okay. So you really don't manage to squeeze in between all of them. You try to move, but it's kind of a little bit awkward, and you can. And you no. And you're also wielding the weapons, and you're feeling a little bit clumsy. So you're doing a good attempt, but you're feeling that it's too hard. Also, at the same time, your dear half-orc friend is trying to stand up, and there's too much going on, so you can't
Too
really
many
make it
limbs.
pass. Yes.
Okay.
So that's that. Are you?
Where did I land?
What?
Where did I land? I'm still in the
Just the same
inside the
place.
cell.
Basically, nothing
Okay.
happened. Yeah.
Okay.
Nartak, it's up to you. Take it over.
So, I am in the process of getting up, and like I said, this is a split second later. I'm still seeing red, and all I see is the fat guard, and I think there is another guard splayed out in front of me, between me and the fat guard. I'm not certain though.
Lying on the ground?
Yeah.
No, there is not.
Okay, so it's a clear shot to that fat guard if I want it.
Basically, it's kind of angled, but you can reach him. You can reach him definitely.
Okay. I am. The entire world is gone. It's just me and him, and I'm a dirty fighter because I'm not a strong boy, but I'm a very mean boy. So, as I get up,
Yeah.
I would like to go straight for the groin.
Okay, a kick or a punch?
A
bite?
punch in the balls, please.
Punch in the balls, please. Okay.
Yes.
Can I have a ball punching
Of
roll?
course, sir.
I shall give you a bonus of the half-orc rage, so you will get an advantage because of the rage, which is balling. So that means you can roll twice and pick the best value.
Okay.
Okay, you may still
I
you
think
may
we're
yet
good.
roll again.
Oh. It takes a little second for me to be able
Yeah.
to roll again. Yes.
I love that you added that quote, Lerb. Also, welcome everyone, and sorry that I'm being so focused on the players. Also, not sorry. Okay.
Right, so 17
Yes.
and +2 on unarmed strikes, I think.
Yes, it's a 19. So you're basically running up to him, and then in a very secure way, you punch him right in the balls, and it's a clear hit. I'll give you a 1d6 roll on this. Oh, I shouldn't have cleared it. I'm so roll again. I should get used to this.
Sure.
Derping
Yeah,
a
I
bit.
should fix it.
This will get better in the next version. I promise, but it will. Okay, so just roll the d6 now as well. Okay.
Ooh.
Okay, good. So you're punching him in the balls, and you hear a sound coming out of his mouth, and he's looking surprised at you with hatred in his eyes. You can see the sweat curling up in his face. And
that was so satisfying. I can feel the rest of the battlefield coming back to me. I can now see what's going on.
okay,
But I just stand there for a moment, dumbstruck, that I, with my teeny arms,
he aims
managed
a
to do
kick
this much damage.
back towards to you. Also aiming for your crotch.
Oh,
And he slips and misses. And it becomes this kind of awkward kick where he kicks, but it really doesn't. He can't move his leg far up enough because he's not fit enough. So it kind of because it's like kicking the air just under your crotch, but nothing happens.
also he just got punched in the balls, so I imagine that's problematic.
And then he just in a grumpy way starts swearing, starts looking for a weapon on his body, and he's actually trying to take a step back away from you, which allows you to make a reaction punch. You can strike again.
I would like to
you
do
want to.
that. Yeah,
Yes.
This time I like to, I'm standing up now. I want.
So this time needs no aiming. It's just a reaction when he's running. So this time you just
Okay.
roll and yes, no wishes.
I'm just swinging at.
I'm sorry.
No worries.
Okay.
All right, that's.
Do you have a bonus?
14.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. It's definitely a hit. Can I get a 1d4 now? You're getting the normal damage now. You're not full of your rage anymore.
Yes.
Okay. So you kind of you actually slap him as he's trying to back away. You slap him with an open hand like this, and he gets all red in the face. Mickey, as a wolf, you are allowed to make a reaction attack as well because he's moving away from you as well. He's stepping back from all of you.
Okay. Is he facing away from me? Like as
No,
he stands?
he's backing while looking at you, basically.
Okay.
So you can just roll. You can just roll the die. You can't decide too much here. You can just do a reaction.
Okay, yeah.
And Pirate Prince, alas, you're in the wolven body, so you're not allowed to do anything here.
But I can still hear your conscious.
Oh, natural 20! Can we see some hype in the chat? Lerb, thank you so much for gifting the sub. That's really awesome of you.
Oh, that's some hype in the chat.
Okay. Can you roll twice? Are you biting this time?
Yes. I want
Can
to
you
fight.
roll twice? Roll the d8. And we're gonna need it twice in a row. Okay, and then roll it again. So it's a 2, it's 8, and then you have the plus. It's 10 in total. Okay. So do you want to decide yourself how you do this? Because this will be an execution.
I think you're better at describing. It'll be more fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
So almost, it's a werewolf. The wolf is standing up on its back legs, roaring, looking at the fat guard who is currently backing away with fear in his eyes. He lets out a little wimp as he can see the rage of the wolf. And the wolf embraces the man with both arms, the claws digging into his shoulders. And then he is getting the kiss of the wolf. The jaws open widely, and they bite onto the face, over the eyes, nose, and mouth, and just grasp deeper and deeper into the face of the sweaty guard.
Can I describe the end?
Yes.
Okay. So once fighting, the wolf managed to pull off a huge chunk of the skin intact. And can I spit it down on the floor in front of... What's his name? Dig. I'm just going to call you Dig. I'm sorry.
Nartak.
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 Yeah. Almost like a, here we go. You're like screaming in my conscience, like, ah, I can taste it!
Okay, cool. So you're doing that. The face of the man is off. It's on the ground by our half-orc friend.
Oh yes.
And the scream fades quite quickly. So many things are broken in his skull that he falls down dead, or at least brain dead until he's dead, on the ground. And there's a big poof as he touches the ground. The other guard is looking at you with a big fear in his eyes. The one with the helmet, so you can't see the eyes, but he still has big fear in his eyes. And you hear through his echoey metal helmet, "Raise the alarm! Raise the alarm! Prisoners loose! Raise the alarm!" As he is doing that,
You have my eternal
he
gratitude.
seems to be searching for something in his pocket, but you do not know what. But he's not attacking. He's just standing there in panic, searching of something, preparing something. Do you want to do a perception check, my friends?
Yes.
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 Go ahead.
Everyone, hide.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
I really see this. Yeah.
Oh yes.
I noticed the fuck out of this.
Okay. Okay. So I think that both Andre and Nartak, both our half orc and our half elf friend, you are starting to feel the scent of something. Something is smelling. It's like a chemical. It's not a natural thing. It's not something man-made. Like it's a blend of liquor and rotten fruit. Something dangerous but sweet.
Where is it coming from? Can we tell?
You think that it's coming from the guard who is tinkering with something.
Okay. All right.
And as he is doing this, the torture master lady in the white robe, who now is bleeding, raises the whip to strike against you again, Honor.
Okay.
And she's laughing as she's doing this in a really disturbed way. She misses you, latches just before your face in the air, and you see the small iron thorns before your eyes, before it goes away. And she just hysterically keeps on laughing.
Lady, there's something wrong with you.
Okay. I think it is your turn, Wolf. Because you only did a reaction before. Do you want to stay in your shape? That means blocking the turn of the Pirate Prince. You can decide also the Pirate Prince can try to break through. It's up to you two guys what you want to do.
I tried to get like a wow kind of like freak out factor by being the wolf, and that doesn't seem to like affect them whatsoever. I think having two brains would be better than one, even though I don't want to give up being in control. I understand that to get out of here, we're just going to have to work together. So I'm gonna leave my form out.
Okay, you're leaving your form?
Yes.
I'll allow you that as a bonus action. So if
Thank you.
Yes. Do you want to do something before... You can also mix and match, but do you want to do something before the Pirate Prince takes control? Do you want to cast a spell or something like that?
I would like to... Where is it? Use poison spray, please.
Yeah.
On the torturist.
On who?
The torturer.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
So let me look at the stats. You can throw a d20 in the meanwhile. I think it's a skill shot for you. I don't remember the poison spell. Sorry, I shall look it up now. Poison spray, exactly. No, I must do. The creature must succeed a Constitution saving throw. So I will roll, or I will take 1d12 poison. Okay. Should have designed stronger enemies. So I'm gonna remove that and then I'm gonna roll.
okay.
It's let's see here. No, it's not enough.
Ah,
So you can. I will roll the damage for you because it will be easier. Okay. So out of your hand bursts a green gooey spray that fills the face of the torture master and is dripping down green on her white, bloody leather dress. You can see that as acid, the face starts to melt and boil a little bit, and she's screaming hysterically in pain, yet laughing, mixed with the screaming continues. Pirate Prince.
Okay, so far I've gained 1 dagger. I was just wondering, does there happen to be another dagger nearby that has maybe gotten out of someone's grasp?
Nothing that you can perceive right now, no.
Okay, well, then I've got no time. I'm just gonna focus on attacking the guard closest to us. He was previously on the ground.
Yes.
I'm not sure. Yes.
We need to get out of here
Yeah,
before
well,
others come.
well, he seems to be doing something. I don't know what, but I want to sort of go for him and just give him a nice stab right in the gut.
Okay.
I just need a roll and thing.
Oh, do I need to reset?
yeah, reset.
There we go.
Ooh, yeah.
Do you have any bonus? You have, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Where do you want to aim? Did you say?
Just in his gut.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I will definitely allow you to decide. And it's a 4 and a bonus, or it's a plus 5, right?
5. Yeah.
Okay. Tell me how this execution happens, my dear Mercury Hunter.
Well, oh yes, I'm in the frame now. So, I mean, things have been pretty vicious so far, so I'll keep on the vicious streak. It's sort of gonna be like a stab in and a pull across, in such a way that his guts will sort of start coming out, spewing out of his body and onto the floor. It'll be a bit gross, and the floor will be even more slippery. Probably not the best idea, but in the heat of the moment.
So Mickey went for acid spray, and you were going for gut spray.
Teamwork!
Okay. So you slit the guard open, and out flows his guts all over the floor. Dead on the ground are 2 guards. One fat, one tall, one without a face, one without guts. And with acid in her face, the torture master is still standing there, laughing as she's having the best time of her life. You start hearing some kind of horn or trumpet sounding. Echoing throughout the whole tower. It might be coming from a window somewhere in the tower, it might be coming from the inside, you can't tell. It's hard to judge with the acoustics going on right now. Let me take a brief pause, a dramatic pause, and say thank you to everyone for joining the hype train. Thank you, Mickey. Thank you, Rockstar. Thank you, Deg. Thank you, Sweelerb. Thank you, Timberwolf. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate you so much, and I'm very thankful. To the new people dropping in, welcome to my 2-year anniversary as a streamer. I will be streaming the whole day and the whole night. Currently, we're in the middle of a D&D session, as you can see. And I thank you so much, Lerb and Broadcast from Mars, for keeping the viewers up to track on what's happening. If you have any questions, just feel free to ask in the chat. We're going to do more singing today. We're going to do more concert. We're going to do multiplayer gaming. Ooh, what will we do more? Teptrum is coming over. A friend is coming over to hang out and have a good time together. I will, by the end of the stream, turn myself into Geralt of Rivia, on stream in front of the camera, and then I will go into the bathtub and take a hot bubble bath as Geralt of Rivia for your entertainment alone. Yes, the day has come. But that comes later tonight.
You gotta sneak peek. What do you say?
Mick is just like, hey, Merc, can you come to bed? He's like, no, I'm gonna be up and watch the thing here.
No, you go to bed.
Okay, let us continue. Andre, it's your turn.
Okay, so the 2 guards are down. I have the Torture Master in front of me.
Yes, and you have some kind of horn ringing out throughout the tower.
Okay. Is it still difficult to run past her?
Do you mean you need to run past your friends, you mean?
Yeah, everyone.
Yes. Yes, it's still quite difficult. I can give you the value. So you need an 18 at least to be able to...
All right. Okay, cool. So how badly is the Torture Master hurt, or she's just cackling?
You can't tell because she's such a psychopath.
Oh my goodness, okay.
I mean, she's bleeding and her face is melting out of acid, but she is enjoying herself.
I'm gonna then take my knife and slash her again with it, in desperation to get to Lady A.
Okay.
Who's skittering in my skull now. I hear it. I hear the sound. I want to get to her.
Slash ahead.
Lady! I shout and then I slash at the Torture Master, with my knife.
Oh.
Oh no! Ah.
Okay, you're not gonna like this, because I'm going to punish you.
All right.
Yes. So, this time you want to go for a slash, but you change your mind and you stab in the last second after hesitating. The wildly laughing Torture Master takes out her hand, grabs the knife by the blade, and just pulls it from your hand. Now she has it in her own. Turns it around. She has it in her own hand. Her hand is bleeding. Her chest is bleeding. Her face is full of acid, and you can even see how hair is starting to slowly pull off and go off from the body. You feel the smell of burning human flesh mixed with the blood, piss, and vomit of the prison. And you can even hear the sound from her face.
But she's still standing.
She's still standing.
All right. So, was my failure so bad that I can't, in a panic, just whack her with my hammer as well?
No, you're quite surprised. You're just standing there baffled at what she just did and what is going on.
Okay.
And
so
you're actually finding this pretty disturbing. This is very uncomfortable for you to watch.
Okay. Right. There's nothing else I can do on this turn. Yes.
You're stuck.
Okay. Yep.
It's time for our legendary half-orc to take his turn.
All right.
Nartak.
I would like to see if, look around if I can find any weapons lying around, perhaps in the corpses of one of the fallen guards.
I mean, you can search. You can do a quick search of the fat guard. I will not allow you to attack the same round if you do that.
Was the other guard? He wasn't wielding a weapon at that time? Isn't there one in plain sight? Is what I'm asking.
Go, you can go and take a look. He's the one from where the weird smell is coming.
Yeah, I'd like to
you want to take a turn to search him through?
Yes. And I would also like to say, guys, we need to really need to get out of here.
Yes, things are actually moving a little bit here.
trying.
Things are moving a little bit here. I'm going to remove the corpses off the screen just for convenience. I hope that's okay. And you're a bit baffled, a little bit back like that.
You want me to roll, right, Marco?
No.
No?
I don't want you to roll. You are quickly going over the body and searching for anything that could be useful. And you find a small glass tube with a little corkscrew in it. And something is bubbling really violently inside of it. It's some kind of
definitely take it. Don't even have to
purple
think about it.
liquid. When you touch it, it's extremely hot to the degree that you can't decide if it's hot or ice cold. And you can't hold it for too long in your hands. What do you want to do?
Can I rip off a piece of cloth or something to make it more easy to touch? Because
Yes,
I
you
know
can rip off. You
this
can rip off
probably some kind of
a
weapon.
piece of his cape.
I will do that.
Okay, so you're holding that substance in your hand,
Mhm.
and that's what I give you this round.
Okay.
Okay, our dear psycho lady, now full of all the colors of the rainbow that you can imagine. Please, no, let me actually be fair, Dungeon Master. Let's roll a perception.
Okay.
No, only me.
Okay.
I want to know if she sees what's going on. No, she doesn't see at all what you're doing. She thinks it's weird that you're looking at that you're going through the body in the heat of battle. But you know, you're a half orc and probably half as intelligent as her, according to her, not to you. So she doesn't care too much. Instead, this time, she whips towards the pirate prince. And she misses. In anger, she thrusts with the dagger with her own blood towards you as well. And it's a hit.
Oh no.
The blade is digging in right between your ribs. Not enough to pierce along, but close. And pain is jolting throughout your body. Oops. Wait, I failed my d4. Wait, let me do this. Okay. And you're taking 4 damage.
Wait,
Everyone is okay until 3:30, right?
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yes.
Yeah, good. Let me know. I have, you always over-prepare, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Now it's your turn. Pirate or jungle nymph, you let me know what you want to do.
Who's going first?
I'll go first. I don't need a third person's essence in me. Not more now torturous blood. So I'm just gonna rush towards her.
You're already side by side with her, basically. You're here. You see the little.
Okay.
This is you.
Well, I'll close the 2mm distance.
Yes.
And I want to grab her arm and try to slash at it. The one that's holding the dagger, not the whip.
Oh, you want to
try
slash? Okay. Okay, go ahead. Do a roll.
Cool.
Getting it up for you.
Oh.
Okay. So,
Can I get a damage roll as well, please?
yeah,
What is that?
a d4.
But a +5, right? So it's a 6 in
Yes.
total.
Yeah, 6 in total.
Okay. So you kind of get a hold of her and just slash at her arm, and you get her just by the wrist, and you cut so much tissue and bone off that the wrist is hanging loosely and drops the dagger on the ground. And she looks finally silent after all of this maniac laughing, in total silence, at her hand dangling there, lifeless from her body, not attached, but still not firm enough for her to move it herself. And she just stares at it, starts to shake. And you can see now that almost all of the skin is gone from the acid. You see the flesh of her. You're starting to see the bone knobs from the cheekbones, and her face is really melting apart. She's looking more like a monster than a human at the moment. She must be in great pain, and you can't understand how she's even standing up anymore. Mickey, your turn.
Okay. So I'm done with the senseless violence. We're just trying to get out of here. Can I use Pass Without a Trace on us to get us out of here?
Let me think. Can you use it on all of you, or is it only yourself?
It's for me and my companions.
Yes, let's read on it. A veil of shadows silence radius. Shadows and silence radius from you, masking you and your companions from detection. For the duration, each creature you can choose within 30 feet of you. Ooh. Plus 10 bonus to dexterity stealth checks. Okay. Yes, you can cast the spell.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast that. Do I press cast?
Huh?
Or-
You don't. No, you don't have to roll anything. It's a success.
Okay,
It's a concentration spell, so you can hold this up to 1 hour, but you need to keep concentration.
that's fine.
So, out from the fingertips of Morelia, shadow starts forming out, almost like smoke. First twirling around her whole arm and half of the body, then enwrapping her and the pirate prince and the rest of you. And it is almost as you're watching the world from a veil before your eyes. On the ground lies the two dead guards, and in front of you... Yes?
Just so you know, can we cover the torturer as well in the veil, or not? Only companions? People see her and be like,
no,
"Hey."
you can cover her as well. You can cover her as well. You choose the
Yeah.
creatures.
Yeah, I want to cover all of us. I don't want anyone to be seen here right now.
Okay. So you cover all of you, and then you just stand still. You don't...
Yeah,
Okay, good.
I have to concentrate.
So, after all of the commotion, there is suddenly silence. Almost as if you're watching the world in black and white or a grayscale. It is still. The dead guards sleeping on the ground. The torture master standing there watching her almost cut off hand. And you hear the dripping of blood. Drip, 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 drip. You can still feel the smell of the acid in the face. And everything is still. We can go out of battle mode for now.
Can you get out of here before the other guards come?
I need to
I
get
can't
lady.
keep this spell for that long.
So I want to kindly ask you to pretend as if you haven't seen the whole area, so you don't know what's beyond that corridor.
Yeah.
Yet.
Can I hear still a lady?
Yes, she's still scratching, but a bit less intensively now.
Okay, I want to just rush that direction, careless of whether I'm in the sphere of being hidden or not.
Okay.
Where
you start- I'll move you.
Do I know? Yeah. Okay, you can move me. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no, you don't need to do any checks at the moment. I will let you
Yeah.
know. You move past the torture master, who just stands there. She doesn't even care. She doesn't look at you as you're passing by. And you pass cells on this side below you, on your right-hand side. You see 3 children. And they all seem to be half-orcs. They're playing with the stones and a dead mouse that they found in their cell.
Okay.
On the left-hand side, there's emptiness. Keep on running. The next cell on your right side, you see one man sitting in a corner, staring into the wall, not caring that you're there. And then on this left-hand side, it also seems to be empty. Continue out this hallway with 2 closed doors. It seems like Lady is coming from the right hand.
Okay.
It is besides this just an empty hall. Nothing.
Okay. I shout behind me. What are you waiting for?
I just start searching the bodies to see if I can find keys or anything useful. I'm still unarmed. I've got this file, but I feel very exposed right now, so I'm looking for anything of use.
I mean, the torture master has her wicked whip. and the dagger. You could try to take it out of her hand if you dare. Or do you want to search only the guards?
I mean, she's a little far away from me. I think I'll start with the bodies.
So on the masked guard, you find no key, but you are finding an axe, a hand axe. I can add it for you if you want to.
Better than nothing. Yes, please.
I'll add it to your character. Besides that, he's wielding his armor, but if you want to take that off him, there's a lot of straps. It's going to take a lot of time.
I'm not going to take the time for that. I'm just looking for anything that is opportune right now.
Yeah, no, this is what useful things you can find right now.
So no keys on the fat guard either? Or have I not searched them yet? Is that?
No, there is a key into your cage, into your cell,
into the door.
But that's still in the door because
all right.
You attacked him as he was supposed to open up. So
that's what I was looking for.
No, that is there.
I would like to grab those.
Yeah.
And start making my way towards my friend who's called Andre. Andre.
Without the H.
You could lock her in here.
Okay, I've given you a battle axe now.
Thank you, sir.
There's a door.
Yes.
Towards the sound that I'm hearing. Can I carefully? Is there any keyholes or anything like that I could look through?
It looks like there is no kind of contraption like that. It's just a plain wooden door.
Okay, I'm gonna just open it.
Okay, the door opens up. Once you open the door, there is a smell of burnt meat. Lots of iron, probably iron from blood. And liquor.
Okay, do I see
anyone?
ahead
of you a bunch of barrels. When you look a bit more careful, this looks like a torture chamber. There's a table with lots of crude tools. There is a bench with spikes and leather straps. There is a bed of fire on the ground where you can see burnt flesh and pieces of hair from men and women. There is shattered glass in some kind of contraption where you see teeth among the glass scattered across it. And you hear the scratching intensifying from a small wooden box among the barrels.
I'm gonna rush to the box. See if I can open it.
Yes?
Okay. While he's doing that, I want to check in on Nartak. And also, my other half has had a good idea.
Go ahead. Do the dialogue in character as you wish. Take your time.
Can you repeat your idea for Nartak here? I'm sure he'd appreciate it.
We most likely don't want to bring this woman with us. I think we should rather have her locked in here, like she locked us up, as not to alert anyone else.
Wouldn't it be just easier to slip a blade in her neck?
If she will allow you. Be my guest.
You can ask.
So
I'm not one for weapons.
I cut this conversation short with my axe by trying it out on her neck. Is that possible, Sir Dungeon Master?
Yes, you can.
I would like to do that right now.
Okay. Tell me how. Give me some detail.
I just casually, I'm not very strong, but I feel like she's very close to gone anyway. I just casually reach out my right hand with the axe in it and chop at her throat.
Okay. You managed
to chop it off. I would also like to take her whip.
You chop it off even.
Hell yeah. So, problem solved. Let's get out of here.
Okay, do you want the whip?
Yes, please.
Okay, the whip is yours.
So much fun.
The whip is yours.
I would like a better weapon than just the stagger and attack. Which would you prefer between the whip and the axe?
You can have the axe if you want it. I only need so many weapons.
Sounds
And then I would like to move myself to Andre, and I presume that I will see the half-orc children as I move that way.
I mean, we can do the inventory management later on when it's necessary. I'll keep in mind what you have. So, do you all want to start moving up to him?
I'm going along.
yes.
So, as you pass the corridor, you see 3 half-orc children playing with a dead mouse and stones in one of the cells. And especially you, my dear Nartak, realize that what's going to happen to them by the break of dawn is going to be horrible.
I'm just stuck dead in my tracks. I see these children, and I know how I grew up, and I know that this was a fate that I had always dreaded myself, and I don't even think about it. I start moving towards unlocking the door with the keys I just found.
Okay, the key fits, and you can open the door. You start hearing footsteps rushing down from above you. It seems like they're walking downstairs. You hear a big commotion and shouting. Have you
All right,
kept them
I say to
walking?
the
Wait.
children, stick
Have you kept them
close to
walking
me.
further, Mickey and Murky? Or did you stay by the orc children as well?
You're the one.
Oh, I would definitely stay. I'm all for freeing the orcs.
Okay.
I'm not gonna let
So
them.
you're basically here. As you open the door, one of them, a little girl with braids on both sides of her head, smiles up to you and points. She can't be older than 6 years old. And she says, "Same. We're the same."
I say, yes, we are. And I get to my knees and I say, you need to listen to me. You need to stick close to us. And I am going to try and get you outside, okay?
But there is going to be a big show tomorrow, an entertainment. And are you going to be in it as well?
Yes, the big show, of course. I'm here to take you to that big show. You just need to stick close to me, okay? And listen to everything.
The bad guard said that we will be the main attraction. We will be
that's
at the
not
end,
bad.
and it's going to be the biggest thing. They will use fireworks.
Yeah, there'll be fireworks, but we're just gonna be spectators. You don't have to participate. You just
One
need
of
to
the other
stick close.
kids says, "No, I want to be there. They said it's going to be the greatest thing here."
We're gonna be there. Don't worry. You just need to stick close, but we have to be quick, okay? Otherwise, we're gonna miss it.
Through a deception.
Yes, I am doing so.
Should I look at the stat, or do you know? It's a +3 for you.
+3, yeah.
Okay, they're kids. I'll let it pass. The kids are kind of doubt. They're kind of. They really don't believe you, but they decide they're gonna stick with you for now, at least.
I'll take it.
And the last one, who is probably just 4 years old. Can I keep mouse? Can I keep mouse? And he
Of
kind of waves
course.
around with a dead mouse from the tail in the
Yeah.
hand like this.
Just put it in your pocket for now, okay?
I have no pocket. They're dressed in sacks, just like you.
Just hold it in your fist. Sure.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Now, come on, kids. Let's
Okay.
move along.
The kids are following you, and the footsteps are getting closer and closer. Meanwhile, Andre, in the torture chamber, what is going on?
Yes, I'm trying desperately to open that box where I know Lydia is.
Actually, not. It's actually not locked. It's just it's stuck. So you get it to open after a while, and inside is your ladybug and your ladybug alone. But around it, you can see notes and papers, as if someone has been trying to research the ladybug or tinker with it.
Okay. I'm gonna quickly look at the papers. If there's anything interesting, do I find anything interesting?
Nothing you don't know, since you have constructed her yourself.
Okay, I'm gonna take them, and there was a fire pit, right?
Yes.
I'm going to promptly put those papers and into the fire pit.
Okay. They catch on fire quite quickly and they start dancing in the flames, the ashes.
Lady A is settling on my shoulder. My panic subsides and I start looking around a little bit. Is there anything else I can see? Anything of use? Do I have another knife? I'd like to have another knife.
There is another knife among the torture tools on the table. It's looking very crude. It is a blade, but it is kind of jagged carving, so that if you would put it in and pull out, you would do damage on the way out as well to make sure to hook into the flesh.
Okay. I'm gonna take that. Any other belongings of mine are here, or of my party members?
No, but you can take the torture devices and I'll allow you to use them as a tool belt, because there's such a big variety. So you can access yourself with the tool belt.
Okay,
For
great.
the stuff you need, and you can also add another dagger for the crude dagger that you have.
Okay, great. So I'll take the dagger. I have one of those things, infusions, left where I can put some properties on an item that I have. 2 times in a long rest, I used one on my sackcloth, and another one I'd like to use for the hammer. Do you allow that? That will be the repeating. Let's just see. No, returning weapon. So I can throw it and it gets back to me, the hammer.
Can you do this fast, or does this take time?
Yes, it seems I can do it quite fast, as
Instant.
far as I can read. Yes.
Okay, then you're welcome to do so. I'll keep it in mind.
Yes. So
Okay.
I'll put that in there. Yes.
Let's go back to the children and our half orc and half elf jungle nymph combo. So you're starting moving down here with the kids. You see the lifeless man sitting, leaning towards the wall, not even looking at you. Do you want to keep on going?
Yes.
We can't save them and not him.
I'm just gonna unlock the cell door and keep moving.
Okay.
Who are
You're
we
locking
to
the door,
decide
keep on
who's like
moving.
the-
The figure just still sits there on the floor.
I'm not wasting any time communicating.
The footsteps seems like they were getting pretty close now, and you can hear even louder the sound echoing throughout the tower. Andre, do you want to start moving back, or do you want to keep on staying in this chilly place?
I'm gonna take a quick search around. Is there any other way in or out from this place, or is it just that door that I came through?
No.
Okay, so I'm gonna just then rush out to get back to where I came from and see where my friends are.
And you're actually meeting them conveniently enough right here in this hall.
That's perfect.
And to clarify how this is working out, it was a bit of a pain to construct it. So basically, you go up from the left to the right, and then you come out, and then you can keep on going up in the tower like this. And when you go down, you go from the right to the left, and then you go below these stairs, but you can't just visually see it. So when somebody's coming down, they're going to come from this way, but when you want to go down, you're going to start here by walking through this door. Right. Okay. And that you will know, of course, once you have opened this next door.
Good. You help the children. Hello, children. My name's Andre.
No time for introductions. Which way?
Hi, you have strange airs, but it's okay. Are you going to be in the show too?
Oh, these funny things. Yes, they are mine. I like them. You too have funny ears. We both have funny ears.
What is this on your shoulders?
Can we play a quick game?
This
Yes,
is,
a game.
Yes. If you manage to keep quiet, we'll give you an even better role in the performance. Just keep quiet until we're out of here.
Is there a bigger role?
Yes.
And then the 4-year-old that you believe to be a 4-year-old picks up the mouse. Can the mouse get a big role too?
If you keep quiet.
Oh,
Let's go. We need to go.
they all hold their mouth as you have been gesticulating, trying to mimic you. Mickey, are you still concentrating to maintain the Shroud of Shadows?
Yeah, he's doing everything. I'm letting him walk us, do the talking,
Welcome,
and
Carl.
I'm just focusing.
Okay. So, do you want to open this next door? It's just a normal wooden door. What
Yes.
could go wrong?
I think we need to go.
We need to go.
Okay.
The door there. Shall I do it?
You
I'll
already went
I'll try the
other
door
way.
while they're discussing it.
Okay.
Oh.
So the half-orc walks up to the door and opens it. Once you do that, the noises of footsteps is immediately getting a lot louder. You can hear swords clashing towards armor, and you would expect that at least 20, if not 30 guards are moving downwards with high pace. The
Can I
echoes
tell, are they
are
coming from above or below? Or where are they coming from?
from above, as you understand it. You might be wrong because of the echoes, but you think it's from above.
This
You
does
guys
not
tag
seem
along?
like a good idea. We need to find some place to hide, I think.
I say we go down. We go down. They're coming up. We go down. This is a tower. Oh, we must go down to get out of here. If we
Let's
hide,
go
we're
down.
stuck.
So to your right
Good
here,
idea as any.
to your right here, you see a staircase with a half-open door where it seems to go down, and you still see the stairs. So you see that to get up, you would need to go to the left and over here, and this is the way down. It's up to you wherever you want to go or not go.
I say we
Down.
go down. Do we agree?
Yes, Andre.
Okay. I start running towards the door.
So you start running towards the door, you open the door, and you start running down the stairs. It's made out of massive wood, so there's no creaking. There's just stomps when you walk on the stairs. And this is a quite large tower. It takes you quite a bit to walk down. To give you an idea, a square is 1.5 meters. So we have 3 meters, 6 meters, let's say 18. It's a 60 or 80 meter long stair that you're walking down. It's a pretty long walk, and that's probably why it's taking so much time with the commotion that you're hearing above you.
Hmm.
After walking down the stairs, nothing super interesting is happening there. You reach a new floor.
But we are now certain that the footsteps are coming from not where we're heading.
It
right?
feels likely because now that you're walking the stairs, you even hear the stomps above your head in the wood.
Right.
Hello, Keto. So as you're coming down the stairs, you can see a man sitting behind a desk with lots of books and a bottle of water, and he's writing things, and you have this big library of books and journals that you have no clue what it is for. On your very right, you see a half-open door, and you see this red rug which has been trampled down with mud from the swamp. It's very dirty in here, but it seems like the gentleman by the table, who's not dressed in armor at all, he's got thin hair. He's an older gentleman, I would say almost 70 years old, no beard. He looks like a scribe or a scholar. He's writing into the books and transferring something between sheets with a swan feather and ink. You can spot torches on the walls, but it's a big tower as I've said, so far you see nothing more. Maybe you see the edge of a closed door on this side as well.
I want to go and talk to the man.
Okay, you just want to walk up to him?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Do you guys tag along?
I started looking for an exit. I'm not.
Do you take the polite route, or do you want to go by the side, or do you want to go to the other side of the table?
I'm gonna be in a hurry, sort of in
Okay.
a panic.
Okay, so it's not like I'd like to check out, sir. It's more. Okay, so I'm moving you this way. Just wait for it for a while. Just give me a second. Degradation. You're searching for an exit. Do you want to start heading through this open door?
I would like to look inside of it and see if there's an
I'm gonna
exit.
put you
If there's
there.
Not.
Mickey and Merc, what direction are you heading?
personally, I was thinking I wanted to make
It's
use
up
of
to
the
you.
increased stealth that we have and to get behind the bookcase
Three.
and start investigating from there where we can't
3,
see.
wait, 20. Actually, you can still be in stealth, basically.
Oh, okay, so he won't see us wherever we are.
No, I mean, you get a bonus, but
Okay, well then...
But
then
none
I'll
of you
just
has
like-
said that you're sneaking. You just said that you activated the magic, so you're not sneak. You have a plus 10 bonus to stealth, but you're not sneaking it.
I'm not sneaking though.
Yeah, well, I would like to start sneaking and to sort of get hidden from this guy's view and like look around as much as possible.
Can you do a stealth roll?
Yeah.
Where are the children in all of this?
They're behind you. All of them are
Okay.
following you because you look the same. They keep on speaking about that all the time.
So you've got a bonus.
13. Do we
Yeah.
have a bonus?
Sorry, I'm just loading up my sheet quickly.
You've also
Yeah.
got this bonus.
That's no stress. I can also find it for you.
In
Uh,
stealth.
You have a plus 3, so it's a 16 in total.
what
And
about
plus 10 with the... magic.
So you're pretty very hidden. Yes.
You're very stealthy.
And you just want to casually walk around the whole place now that you're hidden and look around?
Yeah.
Did I
So
understand
I
you
see,
correct?
I see Nartax checking this room, so I'll sort of go past him then.
Okay.
And see.
So we'll
what
take
I-
one thing at a time. I'm gonna let Andre speak to the guard or to the scribe or whoever is right now.
I am sorry. I am sorry. I am so sorry. She told me to come to you. I'm sorry, and I'm.
What is the meaning of this?
Does he recognize? Does he see Nartak and the children?
He doesn't notice them because he's so busy looking at
Okay.
you.
She told me to get things for the performance. She told me I need to go and get some poison
What is it
snails.
nonsense that you're talking about? You're obviously a prisoner that's lost. Are you from the asylum part in the top tower?
You know the game she plays. You know how she treats everyone. I don't know what she's doing, but I better do what she told me. You know.
You're
how
one
she
of the
is.
escaped victims of the torturess. What are you doing down
An
here?
escaped victim. I am not an escaped victim. She will always find me. I will have to do what she tells me.
Get hold of yourself, man, or I shall call the gods.
I will have to go get those snails, or she will do horrible things to me. Horrible
He
things.
strikes
on the
down
swamp.
into the table with his fist, annoyed, starts walking over to this room over here. But now we're gonna go over to our dear half-orc friend.
What do I see?
You come into a room which looks like some kind of weird storage room. There's shovels, there's old bottles, there's buckets, and then there's a chest.
Oh my! You know, I'm looking for an exit as quickly as I can find it, but seeing as there's 3 kids clinging to me, but I can't resist the allure of a handsome-looking chest. So I'm gonna go towards it and I'm gonna try and open it.
Okay, you walk up to the chest. And can you roll a perception check for me, please?
I can and I will. I'm doing it. It's happening. It's happening.
6 plus
Wait, where can I find my perception?
4. It's a 10.
Ah,
Yes, you see a normal chest.
a normal chest, you
A
say?
normal chest.
No reason to be feared then.
Do you want to
Go
open it
towards
up?
Of course, it's a normal chest.
Okay. So, in the chest, you are finding metal hooks. You're finding horseshoes. You're basically finding maintenance tools for the stable and things like that. And it doesn't seem to be anything else than tools for a stable. Horses.
All right. I don't see the use for that right now, so I'm going to move back out of the room.
Okay, I'm gonna leave you there for now, and then we're going to go over to the jungle nymph and the pirate prince.
Okay, so we've been looking for an exit and coming along this way. What have we seen so far?
You have seen some kind of main exit, or what you believe to be a main exit. There's like a big, massive door there, with this kind of thing you can pull to the side to look out of the door to see who is there. And on your right-hand side, there is a closed door. You don't know what's inside. It looks like the bookshelves, from what you could spot from the titles, it looks like records of prisoners and economy, and it looks like the maintenance information for the whole prisoner tower. On your right side, you see a fireplace with 3 empty chairs.
Okay. Cool, then that room to the right, I want to take a quick look inside.
As you are getting closer to the room, you can see the scribe is getting closer and closer to you. It is a normal wooden door, there is no lock on it. Do you want to proceed, or do you want to change your course of action now that you can see him coming up behind you?
Ooh, yeah, if he's coming up behind me, I'd like to take like a quick roundabout dash behind the bookshelf, and
Okay.
then I
I'm
can
gonna
also...
try and one more last time to distract the scribe so they can do what they want to do.
No, at the moment, no.
Okay.
You have to roll a stealth check, because if you get a 1, you still get a 1. So please do a roll. Otherwise, it's a success with all the crazy bonuses you're getting at the moment. And Carl, the baby, is doing... She still has a cold, unfortunately, but we're doing what we can to take care of her. Okay. Yeah, there's no discussion about that. So you dash into the shadows behind the bookshelf, totally unnoticed. The man keeps on going down. I'm trying to play this out parallel as good as I can, because this is all happening at the same time, as you understand. He opens the door in a harsh way, and he goes, "You lazy fools! You are playing cards again. You don't even hear the alarm setting off, and you're not coming to my help. One of these lunatics have escaped again from the asylum top part of the tower, and I'm not getting any help. Shall I have the queen punish all of you personally?"
Do we hear this, by the way?
Yes, he's very loud. All of you hear this echoing throughout the tower. And then I think only Mick and Merc, you hear the sound of confused, slightly drunk guards putting down glasses on a table. "But we almost won, sir. We're just one more round to go, and then we can take up the duty. We need a break as well, sir." You hear them discussing a little bit, but you feel that time is getting closer. I'm gonna do a dungeon master roll for one of the kids, since I'm a very kind dungeon master. The 4-year-old little half-orc kid sits down by the chest and starts pulling at a small metal ring and refuses to come with you. You notice this as you almost exited the room.
I simultaneously I'll also hear the kerfuffle happening
Yes.
outside, right? All right, I was thinking of telling the kids to stay in this room anyway. So I say that to the other 2 kids. I say, stay in here. Let me check what's going on outside real quick. And then I notice him toying around with this ring,
Yes,
which is, I guess, in some way noticeable to me. So I
definitely.
go in and I go and see what he's messing with
Okay.
really quickly, but in a hurry.
So you notice that the chest is actually standing on some kind of hatch.
Oh.
And he's pulling, trying to open the hatch. And the other kids say, "Look, a magical horse ring! We can ride the chest!" And they all take the ring and they start shaking it and going up and down like this.
Okay, kids, remember what we said about being quiet if you want the big role in the performance later? So stay quiet, okay?
But
I just
horses cannot be quiet.
no, but horses can't be in the show either. So maybe you should reconsider being a horse right now. I say as I move towards the.
Why are
door.
you shouting at me? Are you angry like the guards?
I ignore him and I say, "Guys, over here."
Okay, can all of you throw perception checks?
Sure.
I'll roll it twice for us.
Just roll it once.
The Dirty Gate. It's based on it's based on the 5th edition, but I'm doing some home. It's my own world, so I'm doing some own stuff as well.
What's your perception?
13.
Well, what was your bonus or minus?
I have +2.
Well, I'm focusing on other stuff.
So you can hear. You cannot hear what he's saying, but you can hear that in a kind of eager way. Your half-orc friend is going like he's trying to say something.
I beckon them over.
Okay, so you can see his hand
As I go
moving.
back into the room quickly to see if this is even an exit of some
No,
sort.
not yet. Now it's Andre's turn.
Okay. So I've seen Nartak do this thing.
Yeah.
Which way does the door open and close to the guards' room where the scribe went to?
It opens inwards.
Inwards.
Yeah.
Darn it.
Oh. Yeah. Okay.
I know. But that's how it is.
All right. Okay. I think I'll quickly then make my choice and rush to Nartak.
Yeah.
What have you discovered?
I don't know yet, but it sounds like something bad is happening over in the other side of the room. And there's a hatch here. I just think that we have to act fast now.
Okay, Mick and Merc, your turn.
Okay.
I will let you know that now
Okay.
the footsteps are getting really close again. And you think that something is on the way.
Not worth it. Go.
Yeah. I'm going to sprint into that room with Nartak. And
Okay.
close
So you
the
start
door behind
sprinting.
her.
You start sprinting, and let's see here. Okay, and the scribe notices nothing because he's so pissed off, yelling at the lazy guards. So he's still standing there and screaming. As you reach the room, you can see on the sides of the stairs that black guards are rushing down, and there is many of them, and they are armed. You all get into the room where the kids are pretending that the chest is a horse and that the ring is where you hold on to the horse. What do you want to do?
I move
First thing,
away.
shut
I move aside the
door.
chest.
You want to try to move the chest?
Yes.
Okay, do an athletics check.
All right.
I'll help with it.
Okay. So I'm gonna give you an advantage, but I think it is not
+0.
needed. You push the chest to the side, and the kids go, "Whoa!"
And we make sure that. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. go
Once
ahead.
it started moving, we just sort of guide it to the door, so that at least it will block.
Okay, cool. Yeah, sure. So you push, all of you help, and pretty fast the chest is blocking the now closed doors. You can hear the guards coming down closely from both directions now. The scribe is yelling, "Get them! They're escaping!"
I open the hatch.
Yes. You open the hatch and you see some old rotten wooden stairs leading down into something. It's quite dark.
My favorite. I say, kids, stick close, and I start moving down the rotten stairs.
Okay, are you all going together?
I'm gonna be last because I want to do something with the hatch.
Okay, so all of you walk down, and Andre, you're last and ready to go down.
Okay. I'm gonna do some mechanical tinkering on the hatch. I'm gonna make it have a little message in there. I remember how the torture master's voice sounded like.
Yes, you do.
So I'm gonna have her voice as soon as someone touches the hatch, shout out, appearing to come from a little bit distant distance, saying, "They went up, you fools! Up!"
Okay, good. So do you close the hatch and go down after that?
Yes.
You close the hatch. And you all come down into some kind of earth cellar. It's smelling like moist, humid dirt, earth. And it's quite cold. Almost like a late autumn day. So in your sackcloths you are shivering. The girls are with you. The boys and the girls, the kids are with you. And after a while, after the eyes started to get used to the darkness, there is still some light managing to get into the cellar from this direction by the rocks on your right hand side, as you and you can use that for a little bit of vision at least. I think that our dear half elf as well as our half orc have some kind of better vision down here. You're seeing in grayscale, but the gloomy
Dark
light
vision,
still
yeah.
makes it a little bit weird for you, even though you can see a bit more clear.
Okay.
You still hear the commotion upstairs, even though you have closed the hatch.
All right. So I'm gonna keep my elven ears tuned to when I hear the high-pitched voice of the torture master.
Yes.
So I just know a little bit where they are and see if it has any effect.
I have to ask now. Now I get to be you, Mr. Dungeon Master. How much in a hurry are we?
I'm not in a hurry.
You're not in a hurry. Are you sure?
Yeah.
I'm in a little bit of a hurry.
How much in a hurry?
20 minutes tops
Okay.
is what
cool.
I've got left.
Cool. Mick and Mark.
We can do that.
Cool. Let's do this then.
Let's do it.
Yes. You'll manage. You're wise. Okay. What
I'm
do you
a
want to
quick
do?
I'm just gonna go and fix something, and I'll be back in just a sec. I'll keep listening, though.
Okay.
I'll search around. I'll start searching around the walls, seeing if I can see any. Oh no, wait! You said some light was spilling in, right? Was that from the
Yes.
hatch or somewhere else?
No, the light is spilling in from this direction, where you see like a lot of broken rocks, like a cave-in or something like that.
Right. I start moving towards that because that seems like it might be a way out.
Can you? What you see ahead of you is a total cave-in with a little bit of light coming in from the top. A lot of heavy boulders. Could you please do a perception check?
Yes.
You have +3, if I remember. No, +4
Plus
even.
4. Yeah.
Oh wow.
I don't know why it's not. Oh, there you go.
Okay. Okay. Cool. So as you walk closer to the cave-in, you hear some kind of humming. And you can almost touch as if there's some kind of unknown force close by.
Waka welcomes you.
How close by? Is it behind the cave-in? Can I sense that?
Yes, it is very close to the cave. Do you want to go closer?
Yes. I want to see if I can somehow get through this.
So as you get closer and closer to the cave-in and you start walking on the first rocks on the ground, something strikes you, almost like a constant wind or a wall of nothingness pushing you back. You can't even reach the stones. No, this is not the end of the map, like in a computer game. Booga Booga, welcome. I hope that one of the mods can keep you up to track with... Yes, they have. Thank you so much, Lerb.
I call towards Coulter. Coulter, can you have a look at this? Because I assume they are the most magically inclined here, aside from me.
Yes, I think
Well,
that this...
I
the
don't
first-
know any magic.
The nymph
myself.
knows quite well magic as well, so it's both of them, yeah.
But
Right, but
Yeah,
I
I
know
will- I
Coulter,
will
so I'm
navigate
asking
us.
Coulter.
Yeah.
yeah, I'll navigate Moralian myself. Up to you. I mean, all I can see is this little bit of light, so I'm
Yeah.
sort of fumbling.
So all of you are
at
walking
your
in that...
point.
Or do you walk over there as well, Coulter?
Yes. yeah.
I'll keep kind of guard at the stairs and see if I need to do something there. Yeah.
So you start moving over here as well, and you feel this force pushing you back as well. Do you want to examine it, Mickey?
Yes.
You're allowed to roll
So
an
the
Arcana check if you want to.
Cool, yeah, I'm gonna do that. This is the first magic thing I've come across while being stuck in these rock wall prison.
So it's a +3 on your check.
I did
Okay.
like practice.
The rest of you don't know this, so there's information to Mickey, and she can share what she wants to share. This is magic, and it feels like it has been active for quite a long time before the tower was built. It's some kind of barricade made out of magic that is blocking it, and it could even be an illusion, you suspect. So maybe there are no rocks at all hiding whatever is hidden here. You are not sure how to open this up, but you are certain that it's not through violence. You will need wits to outmaster this illusion, or whatever it may be. As you're examining the wall, Andre is hearing, "They went up! They went up, you fools! You've got wrong! What are you doing? They went up past my torture chamber! Yes!" And it's coming from the hatchet.
Okay.
Wait.
Yes. And do I hear anything else? Are they coming down or are they
Yes,
going away?
you hear a dungeon master is rolling a 3. So the scribe is shouting, "Don't you hear what she said? Are you stupid and lazy? You drunken, piss-smelling guards of nothing! I'm going to report you all to the queen! Up again! Up! You went the wrong way!" And you hear the footsteps again start stomping above you in another direction. Woo! Lucky guy! Lucky guy!
So as I hear this, I'm just gonna kind of cross my arms a little bit on my fake buff chest. I'm gonna start strutting towards the rest of the companions,
Okay.
with a smile on my face, nodding to myself. It's like, yeah.
Your ladybug, your mechanical ladybug, is flapping her wings super excitedly as she's celebrating with you. Okay. What do you wish to achieve now, my friends?
What do we have here?
Some kind of invisible wall. I have no
You
idea.
don't know. Yes, you know that. Okay, good.
I walked against it, right?
Okay.
I felt a flash of insight from Morelia, but I don't know. What are we up against?
It feels old magic, before they were even considering being here. This might not be as we see this wall, but I don't think I know how to get through it.
Can I examine it?
Yes. Arcana check.
Meanwhile, I'll start looking around for another exit because this is above
Okay.
the pay grade.
Do you want to go to the right or to the left?
To the left, please.
Do you have a bonus?
17.
Okay. I'm gonna start moving degradation out of there as you are looking. You basically feel the same thing as you already have heard, but you also realize that this is some kind of construction. There is something listening.
Construction.
Not something living, but there is something listening. Okay. As you're examining this and getting those insights, our dear half-orc is stumbling through the dark. And all of a sudden, you see a dead body. Not even that, a skeleton on the ground. There's no body left. There's small pieces of broken cloth.
And I assume the kids are still stuck to me, right?
No, they're by the magical wall now, playing with it, trying to push their way through. And
Okay, that
enjoying
makes
the
sense.
sensation.
I would like to examine the skeleton, see if it has anything on it.
Okay. The fist of the skeleton, or the bony fingers, is grasping something.
I know, I don't know many things, but I know when a dying man is grasping something, that is important, so I go for it.
slowly unbend the bony fingers, and in there you find a small note.
Oh my. I can read that, right, with my dark vision.
You can definitely read it.
Right.
It says the following. I have towns without people, forests without trees, and rivers without water. What am I? And then below it, there's something scrambled as well. It says, touch the barrier and just answer the riddle, you fool.
Oh, I immediately make my way back to the other guys. I'm not the smartest, and I'm certain somebody else will be able to figure this out much quicker than I am. At least the scribbling underneath left nothing to the imagination.
As I made the investigation and got confirmed what my companions had, I'm gonna go through a scientific process of testing what this barrier does. So I'm gonna back away, and then I'm gonna start running towards the barrier as fast as I can.
Okay. So you're running with full speed, and as you get closer and closer to the barrier, you feel a resistance, and then you're being thrown back, and you land on your back.
Meanwhile, I pass the note to my dear friend Coulter.
Okay, I'll read it out again.
Do you want me to read it to you?
Yes.
I have towns without people, forests without trees, and rivers without water. What am I? And then it says, just touch the barrel and answer the riddle, you fool.
Did you read it out loud? Did you
Yes,
hear
right?
that?
I read it
Yeah.
out loud.
Okay. It's a map!
It echoes in the cellar. It's a map! It's a map! It's a map! It's a map from where you're lying down on the dirt.
I will touch the barrier and say, "Oh, it's a map."
Once you're saying the word map, the ground starts to shake. The humming increases.
I'm not so sure. It was a
And
map,
the
actually.
stones starts evaporating and disappearing.
Hey!
Ahead of you, you see some kind of old ruins, and you start moving inside, almost as if you're being pulled by excitement or by something magical. And you see stone walls with ancient inscriptions. You see runes. There's a lot of water on the floor. And there's some kind of well where there's a magic red light emitting. Ahead of you, you can see underground a forest growing, living vegetation. And through the walls, through the cracks, comes roots from trees that's growing upside. It smells of sewer. It smells wet. And it smells like stone. Everything is still and very silent. And you sense a temperature shift as you come into this.
Sorry, could I just ask you to repeat what that red thing was? I think I missed that right at the beginning.
Do you want to go and take a look?
Yes.
Okay. So you move up to the red thing, and as you do, half of your body, you're better or you're worse, whatever you want to call it, but the part that Mickey is possessing is bursting up in magical energy as her whole body is answering to whatever is glowing inside of that well. It seems to be some kind of uncontrollable, unstable magic materia. What are the rest of you doing?
I would like to ask Andre, can we somehow put this barrier back up again behind us?
That's an excellent idea. I will have a look. I will go and have a look.
Where are you going?
Back towards the barrier where we came from and see if I can put it back on. Or is it
Meanwhile,
back
I'll
on?
start wandering around, seeing if I can find something useful.
As you're turning around and getting closer to open it, it just swooshes up before you. And you get thrown back into a little bit, but you can still manage to keep your footing.
I'm gonna walk back to Nartak and said, "It was difficult, but I did it."
I'm just in awe. This man's intelligence is so far beyond my own that I just nod to him and I start moving around looking for something useful.
And as you're moving around looking for something, can you just throw an investigation check, and I will decide where that leads you. As you are standing there and bragging, and your half-orc friend is going away on an investigation, what is your plus on that? Do you want me to check it for you?
+4.
Okay, great. As you can do that, you start hearing on the other side of the barrier.
Okay, can I see through it?
No.
All
It's
right.
just like a big gleamy fog, and you see the stone structure of the caved-in stone there.
Can I have a feeling of the muffled sounds? Are they aggressive? Are they panicky? Are they?
Do a perception check.
Okay.
We have the kids with us, right?
Yeah, the kids. Did we get the kids?
No, they're still in there.
The kids are with you. Natural 20. Okay.
Oh,
So you managed to distinguish some words and phrases, and it's actually the guards that are baffled that there is no one down there, as they are sure you entered the room and must have gone down.
Okay.
And now they're confused, trying to search for you in the earth cellar.
I'm gonna go and walk towards my companions and said, "We might have to hurry a little bit. They might figure it out."
Okay.
The gods, they're on the other side of the magical barrier.
Degradation.
Yes.
You are managing to find old footsteps and footprints that is leading you through the corridors of the place. And you find yourself by some kind of small wooden bridge, and conveniently enough, there is a boat waiting.
Confident by the fact that the magic barrier is again intact, I just shout out to my companions, "Over here!"
Okay, it's echoing over here, over here, over here in the temple ruins. Mickey and Mark, what do you want to do?
Okay, so I want to kind of reach towards this red thing. I don't know how.
can I slap your hand away and use my hand?
Yes, you can
like-
try. Both roll a die.
What are you doing? Both roll a die. Okay, I'll roll once and then he'll roll the next one.
Okay.
Don't roll.
An 8 and. Hey Raiders, give me 1 sec. Welcome all of you. Increditus Holt, welcome. Lovely to see you here. Hey Cassandra Luna, and thank you so much, Sheldon, for raiding me. As you can see, we're in the middle of a Dungeons and Dragons episode, and we're just about to wrap things up. So let us keep on playing, and then I shall greet you properly. But thank you so much for raiding me on my celebration today. The stream will go on for long today, so don't you worry. Okay, I guess you failed, Mickey.
No,
he failed.
failed.
You failed, okay.
I was slapped away and
So
stopped.
just about as Cult of the Pirate Prince is about to reach for whatever is in the magical substance, the other hand of his body, or her body, Morelia, strikes the hand away and then grasps for something around it. You feel something firm within there, and it's speaking to your body in a language that you had forgotten. As you're pulling out your hand, you see this seed, a ginormous seed, shifting in colors and shape. And you realize that what you're holding in your hand is a seed of a mother tree that has been down here protected. And that is why a forest has started to grow out of the temple ruins. So what you've been protecting your whole life and what was dead, you have found a sea for new hope for your kind.
You're Christmas.
Yes, it's a big thing for you. And I think you are in shock almost, because you didn't know this existed, but you realized it now that you've seen it. You thought it was all dead. And somehow to your mind you think that the mother tree that was cut down by by the queen. This is her tower after all. Maybe the spirit has managed to escape and establish himself in these old ruins. You don't know. But there you have it. The sea of a mother tree in your hand.
Yeah, I'm speechless.
Yeah. What do?
I mean-
You hear your half-orc friend's voice echoing here throughout the ruins at the same
I'm just
time.
holding it focused on it, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna sort of tug at her like, I don't know what this is, but we need to get going.
I'm gonna tell Morelia. I could hold that for you if you want. Look at
I
it.
pull it closer to my body, not saying a single word, but letting my eyes do the talking.
Very well, very well. I back away slowly,
Not letting anyone hold this.
and then I start going towards the sound of Nartak.
And I'm just gonna prepare the boat while I wait.
Okay. So you're starting to walk up to the boat, and on the edge of the bridge, you see a bottle with a candle in it, and there's a small piece of parchment rolled and with a small string tied around it.
Okay, I ignore it and get into the boat.
Okay, fine. So you jump into the boat. The boat is a little bit rotten. It's a little bit aged, but it doesn't seem to sink when you enter it.
Will it hold three and a half adults and 3 children?
You'll see. The kids are currently watching the incredible seed of the mother tree and being almost entranced by it. It's so beautiful. There's
just start
one oar,
pulling at
by the way.
ropes
There's only
and
one
making-
oar as well on the boat.
That's all I need, baby.
Okay, I'm gonna start, signaling to the kids to come towards the boat. Or no, I don't know if there's a boat. So to
Okay, you start
come
following the
towards-
sound with the kids.
Yes.
Okay, so you get over here. You following?
Yeah,
Okay.
with the sea.
So as you're getting over to the bridge with the kids, jumping on the bridge because they think it's funny how it echoes in the tunnel that you can see ahead of you, the sewer tunnel.
No! Do not do that.
You can hear their feet going ka-clong, 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 echoing throughout the place. You can see a bottle with a candle sticking out of it and a little parchment rolled together and tied together with a string inside it on the end of the bridge. And you can see degradation, or not degradation, but your half-orc friend Nartak sitting in the boat, ready to get out of here, holding a half-rotten oar.
I'm too curious. I want to look at the bottle.
Okay.
Hurry up! Come on! We don't
Well,
have
the
all
bottle
day.
just seems to be a normal bottle with a candle in it. Do you want to look at the parchment too?
I'm gonna look at the parchment. Yes.
Okay. So your eyes are noticing that more and more light is getting in through this sewer system that you're in. You're starting to see more, and you're shifting back to normal sight from gray sight, and you can read it. It's written in common, but very old common.
Okay.
And it says, if you managed the puzzle so far, take the boat ride to the shore and I shall await you there. If you didn't manage, you were not worthy of my body. XXX.
Let's get on the boat.
Okay, are you jumping on the boat?
I didn't read it out loud though, so I was like, yep.
Yeah, I'm just gonna step into the boat and I'll sort of take a sigh of relief because I'm almost more comfortable on the water than I am on land.
Yes, you feel at home. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So you're all in the boat, and it seems fine, but then the children jump in, and it's too heavy, and you slowly start sinking.
Oh no. Okay.
Does this mean that we have to stay and can't go on the boat with you? Says one of the oldest kids.
I'm gonna jump off the boat first.
Okay, jumping off, and it seems to be stabilizing.
Okay. How's the water looking like?
Thick, sewery, gooey.
Oh.
Foam.
Okay. Yeah.
Waka welcomes you.
Guys, it cannot take all of us. So what should we do?
Can you strengthen it somehow, Andre?
I will have a think, but Coulter, you can change.
Yes, we can
Need a
change.
break there.
Can you fly? Can you be small, light,
Anything we want.
Big brain moves.
teeny tiny?
Yes.
Yes, I mean, Morelia, this is your call. Maybe I want to try flying. I mean, I'd like to be in a body that can
I think
fly.
about it, but I'm kind of torn. So I want to, but that would mean I'd have to put down the seed.
No, it will stay in. It will kind of merge into you.
Oh, okay. No, forget what I said.
I could hold it for you. I could hold it for you.
Not happening. Okay, so something small. I'll let you decide this time since I.
Or a sewer fish.
So gross. No,
No.
I want to be a bird. Make us
Okay.
a bird.
So,
Yeah,
after some thinking, your body suddenly shifts without you deciding into what. And you become a tiny colibri.
a what?
A what?
Aren't they called that? The small bird? No, let me give you the
I'm not sure of the
non-Latin.
pronunciation.
Let me give you the.
Colibri. Yeah.
It's
I
a
know
colibri, right?
Yes, colibri.
Or a hummingbird.
Hummingbird. Thank you. Yes.
Hummingbird.
Hummingbird, yeah. It's the same in Dutch. I was like, wait, that's
Yeah.
correct.
I think
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
a
yeah.
Latin name as well, or like one of the parts of the Latin name. So you turn into a hummingbird,
Yeah.
and Andre gets on the boat again, and you start moving along the sewer. The kids are singing, and you are all content. Outside, as you start reaching the end of the tunnel, you can see the daybreak of morning, and you are all realizing that this is the sign. This is a sign of your execution, and you have barely escaped. The happily unknowing kids are cheering because of the boat ride, but still had no idea what was waiting for them. We're wrapping things up here now. We're gonna do it fast now, but I'm yet gonna flex the last map. Oops, I'm doing it wrong. There we go. So you actually reach the ocean by Rime. You come out here from a little pipe, and you see the docks, and you see the village or the town coming to life, and you know that the town is full of the blackguard and is under the Queen's control, but you also now know that you have survived to live another day. And if you could escape from the Judgment Tower that no one has ever done before, then you can do anything. And this is where the adventure ends.
No.
Cliffhanger.
Yeah,
That's amazing. I love that.
thank you for playing with me, you legends.
Thank you for having.
That was fun.
This was really
Yeah.
good.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Let me do a big shout out to each and everyone. Degradation, who impromptu joined the stream. I wrote him in the middle of the night, Degradation, can you please be on my anniversary? And he's like, it's my dad's birthday. Please. And
I
he
should
said,
have said it's my
okay.
dad's birthday, but fuck that guy. Of
Yes.
course I'll be here.
So in the middle of the night on his stream, we created his character. I just basically broke into his stream and we did the character. So big shout out for Degradation, horror streamer, awesome, wholesome man, and just look at that beard. It's hard not to fall in love. Go and give him lots of love. Then we have the master of the dungeon, the founder of Natural Pengu, the crafter of this amazing system we have used today to roll dice, where you can use customized characters and maps.
Point.
Marco Lawrence, thank you so much for playing with us today. It has been a pleasure to have you here. Go and check Natural Pengu out. There you can see live streamed fantastic adventures like this weekly. And I'm a bit biased because I'm part, and yes, I am playing the naked half-orc that you can see in the middle of the screen, and yes, he looks like that. And if you want to know why, you'll have to come by and check out an episode. Okay.
Mickey will be there too.
Next off, Mercury Hunter, who played the Pirate Prince, who is and will remain one of my very favorite streamers. He's one of the first streamers I started watching actively on Twitch, and he is amazing. He has very big brains, as you might have noticed today, and he's great at puzzle solving, platforming, anything. He's a cat father as well. Should I say more? No. Just go and hang out in his stream, because he is amazing and wonderful. Last, but definitely not least, is the eminent, fabulous, beautiful, soon European, NoctuaMik. Who I met at the very beginning of my Twitch journey. She has been here moderating my chat ever since then. She is the main editor of my YouTube channel and creates all the great things that we get the good laughs from. He is one of the most kind persons, big-hearted person I've met in my whole life and become my best friend, even though we've only just met online. She's an amazing streamer. She's an amazing cosplayer. And if you're not watching her streams, you are missing out. You know, you're not getting the golden spice in your life if you're not watching her streams. So go and check her out as well.
Yeah, you totally didn't just make me tear up a little bit on stream. Nope, nothing.
You deserve it. It's all true. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it didn't get too far with the violence and the gore, but I think it's sometimes necessary to
Not far enough.
tell a story. Degradation wants more guts in his face. Last but not least, thank you to everyone in the chat. Thank you very much for your post. Thank you everyone in the chat who has been staying patient throughout this whole adventure and chilling, even though I have not been seeing you, chatting to you, thanking you for bits and subs. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. This celebration will continue going, but thank you.
I'm going to just say thank you so much, Waka, for this adventure. Thank you for all the preparation you've done. Thank you for giving us a chance to play and experience you DMing. And congratulations for your amazing celebration. Really, really cool stuff. I'm so happy.
Thank you, and thank you, and thank you.
Be a little part of this. It's an honor. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, everything Pengu said, and I would also like to shout out Waka's hot tub stream later.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. +1 to everything, and also make sure you support Waka. He deserves all the support, especially with the big news he shared earlier today.
And if you missed that, it is that I am becoming a father for the second time. So Zelda is getting either a little sister or a little brother. We'll see when it comes in the beginning of September.
More kids to spoil. I'm so excited.
Yes. Okay. Mickey, do you have anything, or are you ready to wrap this up?
Nothing that will not make me tear up. So let's rather wrap up.
Okay. So could you all answer me a question? Before you leave, how did you end up in Witcher? Why are you sitting in the Witcher Tavern?
It's been the Witcher Tavern all along.
It was just a dream. Thank you for all of the congratulations, and thank you. It was so much fun to share this adventure with you, and I'm so proud to be able to present such fine streamers joining me today. Okay, friends, take care. I'll throw you out of the OBS Ninja, and I will see you soon again.
See ya.
Bye.